Oh, okay, all right, I fixed it. Okay, well, my those ladies, Jacob Butter speaking. Welcome back to another editor stream that people can hear now. And apparently, I'm now very loud because I turned myself up for this. Okay, there we go. Let's just, you know what? I'm gonna let my guests in because they seem to be really, they seem to be better at gauging this than I am. So, yeah, come on in, you two.
Hello, it's me, KW. Today I am going to try to fix the issues when trying to explain Cryptolands. Yeah, and also try to edit
Yes.
some stuff.
Just
Hi,
like we
I'm
need
gonna
for editor
edit.
streams, more people explaining their shows. That went so well last time.
Oh,
I'm kidding. You
but
can
this.
absolutely do that. I don't mind.
No, that's fine. Trust me, I am nothing like SpongeBob. So if anything, I just got overwhelmed and also got messed up with the
I just-
questions.
So I just got over. It's like I just got oversensed by Buns. Like I was like, oh wait a minute. Oh,
Overwhelmed. No, I got overwhelmed with the questions.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, I guess I'll start explaining stuff. Oh, Emily, you good?
Yeah.
Do you need to delete files again?
Do I?
I don't know. Because last time you said, how do I delete files for this game? So I was just
Bruv, I'm on Gacha Life too. How does that
What's your
correlate to
files?
me trying to figure out how to delete Undertale save data?
Anyways, Krypton Lands.
Don't change the topic. What is this hair clipping?
I don't know. Anyways, Krypton Lands. Yeah. So first explanation is the creation of Magica. I feel like I need to explain that a little bit better, but also taking inspiration from Ghosty as well because she actually did fix something. Because I realized like, oh wait, I did a goof. I did something wrong. So I will give Ghosty this credit for this. So basically, let's just say centuries ago, I don't know the year or date yet, just like it's still in the works, right? Okay. There were humans and magical creatures. Humans are able to be born with magic. Why? Because they can. I mean, we have such things as Muggleborns who non-magical people can have children that are magical in Harry Potter in the Wizarding World. So
That wasn't Ghost who said that was me. I said that.
well, yeah, that's what you said that, but
Yeah.
but I will get to the ghost state thing later. Don't worry.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
but here's the thing: humans think magical creatures, and humans who are born with magic are too powerful because oh wait, where's our magic? So they started to kill these magical creatures and humans that are born with magic, and yeah.
Wait, I've already got my first question. So the magical creatures think that other magical creatures are too dangerous. Why is that? Have they been shown
No.
to have
The
more...
humans who are not born with magic.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, so sort of like a witch trials kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, basically yes, that. The humans who were born with magic decided to team up with also the magical creatures because at first they didn't exactly really trust each other because they at first cannot tell if the humans are born with magic are humans that were born with magic because sometimes there can be spies and stuff saying like, oh yeah, I'm totally human that is born with magic. Ha, no, not really. I'm gonna kill you.
But I'm just imagining this now, where it's just like I'm a human that was born with magic. Watch this, pick a card, and then like that actually fools people for a bit, so someone just like bluffs their way into like the magical high society.
And that's how
That should
we
be a
have
spin-off. That should be a spin-off, actually.
maybe I will definitely write that down somewhere for sure.
Okay.
That would be a fun story.
Mm.
So the magical humans and the magical creatures work together to create a realm for only magical humans and magical creatures to live in to protect themselves from the non-magical humans. Hence Magica. But this magic was really, really pretty powerful and kind of a little bit dangerous. So there are a few cracks in it. that kind of spill into the other realm, which is known as, of course, Eartheria. And so, so when humans in Eartheria get born, and sometimes born with magic, they have something called the true sight, because they actually do not know how to use their magic or anything like that, or do not know they have magic, because technically the laws of Eartheria is different from Magica, because Eartheria doesn't really have that much of, like, I guess you could say, magical energy and stuff like that. It doesn't have that kind of same feel or vibe. That's still technically in the works. So if you guys have questions, please one of those. That's still in the works. I'm still trying to tweak that part out.
It's kind of like AI now, where like they're still trying to make laws around it to restrict it.
Oh god.
Back in 2016, every time there's like a new thing or something, they always like stumble for a bit to try and figure out what to do exactly.
No, yeah, that's
When that was
yeah,
mainstream.
yeah,
Yeah, but I have heard.
yeah. So that part is still a little bit tweaked. Like, I don't know how to explain like how the laws are different from Magica and stuff like that. That's still in the works of some sort. I'm still trying to figure that part out, because that to me is like, okay, how does that work? I know there is a way to fix that, or a way to make that work. It's just trying to figure out how to do that. But yeah, so most of like the, I guess, magic energy, I guess we could say for now, is mostly in Magica, and but sadly, like, because some magical creatures who were not there were to build this magical port or stuff like that, they think, oh, only the magical creatures did this because we are powerful beings, kind of. We have more magic and stuff like that. We still need to kill off the humans, because humans are bad. They try to wipe our ways out. So there's not really that much of humans. Anything the closest human like being are like elves or mermaids and such. But not really that many humans. So there is that. But yeah, so now we lead to, okay, well, Duncan's story. Like I said, a few magical humans are still around, but like I said, not that many, because they are kind of like a dying race. So it's kind of weird to see them and stuff like that, because how much they have died in the past and stuff. And so Duncan's dad, who was a dragon, he, like I said, magical creatures can disguise themselves and be like a human being, like, to because that's part of their magic. They can shapeshift and stuff like that. Also because, they need to somehow get inside of cities and towns if they need to say like a hint and stuff like that.
This reminded me of Kobayashi, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, they do have their own cities and their own towns and stuff where they can fit into places, stuff like that. But if they're like going to visiting kingdoms or visiting towns and stuff like that, they need to figure out how to like fit in and stuff like that, but still be true to themselves. So they have that sort of shapeshift magic to where, okay, if I'm going to, like, let's say, the elf kingdom, then I need to make sure I'm the size of an elf, so that way I can go to the inn or whatever at this particular elf kingdom,
So you're saying that? Oh wait, so not just the size of an elf, you mean like they actually do become like the form of an elf as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that also mean that they're altering their entire DNA structure, or is it just like an illusion?
An illusion.
Okay, because I was about to ask how come Duncan has dragon features if presumably he was conceived while under human disguise, but you answered that. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So Duncan decided to visit a city or town just to get like a drink or something like that, because he was journeying. He was technically like a hunter of sorts, hunting for food and stuff like that for his kingdom and stuff. And he met a woman who he thought she was an elf, because she was hiding her ears and stuff. And she said, "I am an elf," when really she's a human. Who have
classic ideas like, "Yep, I'm totally an elf, of course."
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it was one of those classic tropes. But you know what? It's fine.
Quadzi was in the back rooms for a second and didn't seem to, and I was about to click to let her in, and then she just disappeared. So, Quadzi, if you're there, you can return. I was waiting for a segue in the conversation. Don't know
I
if
didn't
that's
know.
something issue. Oh well, we'll see. Continue.
Anyway, so they started liking each other, laughing at each other's jokes, stuff like that, kind of falling into love, and then had that romantic night. Let's just keep it at that. To keep it PG.
Yeah. One thing led to another. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Doug and Dad realized he made a mistake and decided that he needs to forget it and left the city and just continue hunting and going home. So he doesn't really know the lady that he had a crush on and stuff like that got pregnant.
And that must have been some really strong ale.
Yes.
Anyway.
Hello, Quatsi.
Hi.
Yeah, we're in the middle of learning more about the magical world of Klamai. Literally, the magical world of Klamai.
Yeah. And so, Dogman gets born. The mom was trying to raise him and stuff like that, but she sadly got ill and passed away when he was young. And the dad, I don't really know that much part figure out, because honestly I was planning to explain more of like Duncan's history and stuff like that in season 2 and try to explain more stuff in season 2, but because I was working with Aiden, some stuff were kind of got caught out and stuff like that I wish I kind of gone back and let's actually add this other stuff, but that's why I'm doing books instead, because yeah. But
I guess technically speaking, you could say that Duncan doesn't really know all of his history, because I mean, if his father doesn't even know that he exists, then he's got no frame of reference to go on. So I guess if he could explore that and maybe potentially try to find his dad in some way based on what little knowledge he has, then maybe that can be a thing and you can work it out that way.
Yeah, that's fair. But anyway, I was going to say somehow the dragons find out that there is a half human, half dragon child alive, and
oh my god, Moana.
She's not half dragon.
Well, I mean, she has a tail. Surely that's good enough.
That's not half. I mean, I know it looks like 50% of her body, but I promise you it's not.
Technically, Morwenna is a mutant, so
same difference.
Oh, William wants to join too, apparently.
Does that mean all the X-Men are half superheroes?
Well, it's debatable.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll send you a link, William. One moment.
Yeah. Anyways, and so I haven't figured out this part yet, and so there are a lot of parts that I'm still tweaking, but the most basic stuff I have figured out how to process it through. Duncan's kind of getting hunted by the Dragon Kingdom because he shouldn't exist technically, and not welcome.
Wait, hold on. Question: Did the Dragon Kingdom know that he exists, but his own father doesn't? How did they find out about him? Did they just discover him one day?
They discover him one day, yeah.
Okay then.
I think the best explanation, I don't know yet. I may actually technically scrap this idea, but the best explanation is that when the other people from the Dragon Kingdom come to visit to where Duncan lives now and stuff like that, and knows that he has human-like features, but also dragon-like features, and they're like, wait a second, this guy is a half human, half dragon. That's not possible. And they have formed the Dragon Kingdom, and now
an immortal child. Someone contact the Volturi immediately.
Bye.
I mean,
what just happened?
Oh my god.
I didn't realize that.
I've never heard KW laugh that hard. I'm so sorry.
So that's technically why Duncan is welcome to Magica, because he's kind of not supposed to exist kind of ordeal. And so
Okay.
that kind of leads into how he found Kendra, because Kendra decided to hide Duncan in the Demon Kingdom and say he is a demon, not a half dragon, half human. And they eventually got together. And then, of course, Kendra was like, ugh, I'm bored. There's nothing really to do here in Magica. I mean, I have a great boyfriend and all that, but ugh, there's not really much to do, kind of stuff. And then, like, the Dark Rug was visiting the Demon Kingdom one day, and he listened to her woes, and he's like, "Hi, so here's the thing. I need you to do something for me. You seem bored, right?"
He
It's
preyed
like-
What's it
upon her
called?
greatest weakness, boredom.
Literally,
greatest weakness, burden.
I'm just imagining just imagining darts coming along and just being like, "Hello there, I have a mission for you, man.
oh my god,
You'll never be
JK.
bored again."
I'm just imagining a little baby. I'm imagining a little baby with little dragon features like, "Mom, Timmy is for a bath. No, me don't wanna." Timothy, you get down here right now, young man.
Yeah,
But
well, most
anyways.
people tend to skip over those early years, but yeah,
But
maybe
anyways,
they shouldn't.
Kendra was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "It doesn't really matter. You don't need to really know who I am. I'm just asking if you want to do a little favor for me. Since you're feeling bored." She's like, "Okay, fine. I don't know what else to do. What is it you want, old man?"
My chair is the squeakiest thing of all time. Ah.
The more that I learn about this, the more questions I end up having every time with this series.
I'm not questioning it. I'm going by fantasy rules. Nothing makes sense.
Jacob, I'm just dumbing it down. By the way, so
Oh. Oh no.
I look forward to this making more sense in the books.
yeah, and plus will ask for help if future for editing stuff and everything like that. So.
Okay,
But-
then.
Yeah.
Don't question why I'm editing in Blender. This is normal, I swear.
Oh, we can't see what you're doing, William, because I've got
Oh,
Emily on
alright.
screen share right
Well, I'm
now.
using virtual cam.
Yeah, we never actually got round to saying what everyone was actually doing today.
Well, I'm just testing out stuff because I haven't edited in Blender properly, so I'm gonna test it out.
Yeah,
Alright.
fair
So
enough.
far, I had to read some Gacha Club and remembered, oh crap, I have the girl with a tail assets.
I-
What do I do with these?
I'm practically almost done, anyways.
Yeah. So, speaking of retrieving assets, what I'm doing right now is because I'm caught up right now as far as my process of making the next Mutant Girl episode. That leaves me up to editing like other Gacha projects, including People Above. I realized that I've not edited anything to do with People Above since before Gacha Life 2 was
Wait,
released
what?
as was released on PC. Which means that all of the assets were actually on BlueStacks, which I then had to reinstall, which means that I'm going through Discord right now, re-importing the files onto an online version of Gacha Life 2, then getting the exports of the offline version, putting those into the app, and that's what I've been doing this whole time.
Oh my
It's
god.
called pain. It's just
Anyways,
called pain because
It's called something, and the thing is, some of these I don't actually have, because the ones that I made, I never exported to anyone because I was pretty much the only person editing that last episode. So I'm gonna have to remake a meal, I think, particularly.
Oof. For
Anyway,
me,
so-
I'm still using Gacha
I
Club
made a
because I find
meal.
Gacha Club too annoying. No.
Then would you be able to send him over, please? Because I don't see him in the group chats or the all
you
the
might-
character
it's not in
exports.
the group chat. It's in Buttercorp.
I'm in Buttercorp right
I
now in
think-
character exports, and I don't see it.
To be fair, you might have changed it because you said no to my original one.
Okay, well, in that case, that might be why there's nothing. There's no old version in here anyway. So
But you should have
yeah.
sent it to at least me at some point because the first scene I did and that was a meal.
Well, if I did, it's not in the character exports, so it might actually be in, I don't know, it might be somewhere in the best Buttonite trio or something.
Oh, maybe actually.
Yeah.
Good luck
I'll
scrolling
ch-
through that.
Yeah, no, I'll check in a bit. Right now, I'm importing Michaela actually, so I've got
Okay,
got my hands full.
I saw Ghost Kitty's like text, and I would say, Ghost Kitty, don't worry. Duncan has like normal human teeth. He just only has a dragon tail and dragon wings. That's all.
But, my headcanon is that he actually had like a couple of like dragon fangs as baby teeth, but now that he's like grown up, he's lost
Yeah.
those.
That's honestly can work, to be honest. Anyways, speaking of Duncan, oh no, we're taking on Kendra, but Jingman's part of it. So the Dark World gives her like the staff that we do see that she has in the series, and is like, this staff will take you to another realm. Now you're probably wondering, wait, but KW, we're talking about these Soul Scrolls ordeals, which I will talk about too.
You already have. You talked about those last stream.
Yeah, that's also another issue I need to fix sometime in the future. Because I realized how much I messed that up, which I will try to re-explain sometime in the future or now. Just depends. Anyways,
Bond
so,
now is just like having like nervous twitches or something.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway.
God.
Anyway, and he said, but this is only for one use because I pour a lot of my magic into putting into the staff, so it's only one use, because technically the Dark Rock is very advanced in magic.
But it's also a printed piece of paper, so why does it have does it like burn up automatically after the use?
No, it's a staff right now.
Oh, the stuff. Okay, fine, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought you meant I meant the scroll. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay, Kendra's like, okay, fine, but I don't want to do this alone. You know what? Oh, Duncan! Hey, sweetie! Let's go to Earthera. I'm just getting so bored here. And Duncan's like, what? Okay, sure, I guess, as long as it's not dangerous or anything like that,
2 moments later, it's dangerous.
It was in fact dangerous.
So they get to Earthera, and Kendra's like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun, doing some little bit of chaos here and there. And Duncan was like, chaos? Why would we want to do chaos? She's like, well, because I'm bored. Why would we do chaos? I mean, come on, Duncan, it would be fun. Duncan's like, no, I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to bring chaos into this. And she's like, you're no fun. Come find me when you really want some fun. And she kind of just like walk away. And Duncan's like, bruh, what the? Oh God. Right now I'm stuck in Earthera. It's like he's just kind of like walking around. People think it's like a great cosplay or whatever because he hasn't have a disguise yet at that point. Because he doesn't really know how to use magic or anything at that time, like I said. And then and that's when he meets up with Mandy, and that's how they become roommates and stuff. So that's how you got unstuck on Earthera. So that's the parts that I technically have fixed and able to answer it more clearly. So the only issues now is that I may need to retcon some stuff because was looking into the season 1 remake script and the season 2 remake script, something didn't really line up, and I was like, how do I fix this? Oh no. What? Because I realized Bob was right. There's like quite a few like magical items that should not exist. So like now I need to figure out how to fix that. Because I forgot some that. But
as you know, I conducted a raid on the Great Library, which most said didn't exist.
Yeah, the one that contains all the books you need.
Mm-hmm.
But anything. So yeah, that's the thing. And also, I just realized I don't know why Duncan and Kendra can go back to Magic and Earthera too, because I thought only Duncan can do that. But no, as I'm watching season 1, it was like, wait, this is not. Oh God, what have I done? I made some loopholes.
Not the loopholes.
Yeah. So But I know for a fact that Duncan is going to study magic somehow in Earthia, and somehow found well, he doesn't. I'm not gonna make him find a way back to Magica because that doesn't really make sense, and also because if I did that, then the whole Zach's pendant being, an object that able can teleport them to Magica and Eartheria would be rendered useless. So
Gotta think
yeah,
about those retcons like could exist. I need to fix.
I know. Jacob, I can hear I can hear Bond going retcons.
Yeah,
Didn't
that was
that was from My Street 5 years later that originated from, I think.
yeah, that was from
Yeah.
My Street 5 years later. William and I kind of came up with that.
Yeah, we were just like, I think let's do something that would later show up in season 6. That we were just like, bro, come on, you couldn't have just used this now.
Yeah, no,
Well,
no,
I mean-
but Bun has done it a few times in my live stream when I said some retcons. So I'm like, I just could hear Bun putting that in the chat right now, going retcons. But here's the thing: we all know season 1 was trash. I kind of put that out because what? Rush 2, it was half scripted. 3, it was my first series, so of course it's going to be trash.
By the way, I
Wait,
just got to
only
remind
half
people
of it was
that I just got to remind people that KW around the when she reacted to my video talking about my tip number 1 being always write a script, tried to defend the idea of not having full scripts, and yet here we are now suffering the
Wow.
Wait, I defended that? Did I do that?
because you were like, well, no, because I personally I don't have a script. No, wait a minute. That was like a part of the video.
I hate my younger self. I'm going to smack my younger self if I go back in time.
That was like
Hold on,
1
let me get
year
the court
ago.
hammers. Let me get the court hammers.
Oh no.
You truly are like a gacha tuber. I remember when Jay used to say all the time, "Oh, that was from a month ago. I've changed so much now." Like as if he was
No.
like an entirely different person from 1 month to the next based on the gacha videos that I was watching.
What
of
if we
his.
just had a court case of like reasons to why you need to use a script for gotcha things?
Well,
You need to make a statement.
I feel like it would be a
That's
very
fine.
short trial, but yeah.
Just
Your Honor, Exhibit A, all of these.
Exhibit B. This and Exhibit C. Everything else.
Yeah. Exhibit C are like the bad scripts, the ones that shows
Yeah.
Retcons.
The ones like the ones that shouldn't even be considered scripts because they're just bad.
Retcons. Next time, think your story through.
You know
Thanks
what
a
I'm
lot,
talking
Ghost Kitty.
about.
Thanks a lot, Ghost Kitty. Thanks a lot, Ghost Kitty.
Yeah.
Also,
She's been there
wait,
since
why
like
do I
the
do
early
the Zoom
days
like
of
this?
But yeah, so I will figure out how to fix that part. Oh, how did
I
Duncan
know,
learn
right?
how to do magic and stuff like that? I am going retcon how Duncan is able to go back to Magica because that will make Zach's pendant render loses because that's kind of the important thing in the world of Cryptid Lands.
Why is it so dark?
I told you I was planning to do a season 1 remake, so it's already going to be retcon.
Oh no.
Technically.
I'm
Right.
just-
Okay. So
Chico?
No, it's fine, Jacob.
Chico?
I know.
Chico?
Cryptid Lands was already a mess to begin with.
no, I'm just more thinking like for your sake whether or not it would be best to like do the season 1 remake first before you get to the book, so you don't have to fix the mistakes, or whether or not to just continue in the vein that you are right now and then make a different version that would be not canon to the books.
Honestly, I also have thought about that many times, but the only issues I would have is the question is if I do want to do a season 1 remake at least, so that way it can still become books and stuff like that. So that way, hey, do not think this old season is still canon or not. This remake is technically canon, and season 2 is still somewhat canon, even though now I'm turning season 2 technically into books. But there is the first episode out there, which is kind of bleh, just because so many editing errors. Like, oh god, no, let's see.
Guys,
Anyways,
I'm trying to make Pete, and I'm using the colors from Gacha Club, like the exact colors, which is why I'm on the color palette. It looks too dark, and I feel like he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I don't know what to do about it. It's the exact
mean,
same
if
it is
color, but
nothing.
it looks wrong.
Well, I mean, in that case, I mean, you can try the slide if you want, because I know that Gacha Life 2 shows like a
No.
different, you know,
I
shows like
just
everything in a slightly
actively
different tone
think
anyway.
It should be this instead, because that looks more right to me.
Alternatively,
not.
you might be able to find the pat presets somewhere within Gacha Life 2. I forget what they did for their presets, honestly. Apart from that, I've apparently now found studio slots that I wasn't aware existed, and now found a character called Nebulous Scorpio, who I'm thinking of adapting into something.
I still am also planning to have Yin somewhere. Okay.
All right. Well, I've done one edit test, which is a character walking.
Okay, technically I know none of you know who Yin is, but he was mentioned like at least once in the Crimson Lens season 1, and he was supposed to be Duncan's old friend and stuff like that, and he was going to be in season 2, but then I guess I got sidetracked because Aiden was also like writing the script, so it was like, where can I put this gosh dang character in this series?
It's called Nowhere. If Aiden writes a script, you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, supposedly, if Aiden writes a script, actually, more often than not, more characters get put into the script. That's my experience, at least. Because remember,
Fair
I've
enough.
mentioned before that there's a few characters that I mentioned as like offhand people that, you know, someone happens to know or something, and then afterwards, you know, Aiden will be like, yeah, let's bring them in or something. It's like, I appreciate the sentiment, but at the same time, why?
I think I may make Yin still appear somehow, because technically he was technically important has to involve with Anna. I don't really want to spoil it that much, but I feel like everyone kind of knew what's going to happen towards the end of season 2. Because some of you guys read. Oh wait, unless you guys didn't read the full script.
Yeah, no. I was told not to because obviously if I'm going to review something, then yeah, that was why I was given express instructions. I would normally read the things that like came right before, or just like the scene itself.
I honestly just say, hey, can you just do these lines in these episodes? I did not really care if you read the full script or not, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm like, if you're going to be part of the project, you have to know everything. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Like in drama, that's what they tell you to do. That if you get a part in something, even if you're like the smallest part ever, to read the full play, so you have like the entire context of what your character's supposed to be like. In my case, because I know that a lot of VAs don't bother with reading anything apart from their own lines. Sometimes I have a middle ground, which is, you know, just familiarize yourself with the scene and what comes before and after. Yeah. That's usually where I'm at, because if I end up catching something, then, you know, I can step in. But it is usually the recommended by most people to read the full thing. But I understand why that doesn't happen in the gacha circle.
Well, in any case, I'm probably gonna still keep it a secret, just in case that will still kind of happen in the books, anyways. But
that's fair. You may have to explain everything on these videos.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to fix the whole like Duncan thing ordeal and how Magica and Earthia kind of thing, which I actually am going to answer how I came up with the name Earthia and Magica, because that's Uncle's case. Like, small question for you guys: how do you guys come up with location names for your story?
Location names.
Here's my answer. So, in Athena school, I don't know if you guys remember the name, because I think it's only been said once. It was called Heart Can't High. And the reason why it was called that, because most of the time when I have dreams of like going to high school or whatever, stupidly, I do not why, I guess I like high school stuff, even though I really don't. But in my head, it thinks it does. It's just kind of one of those weird things. I keep like feeling like the high school name is Heart Can't High. Like, I feel like it had that vibe and stuff like that, and that's like the name of the school. I think I even seen the name somewhere before, because I feel like it's just a reoccurrence. So most of the time, my dreams give me the answers of what the locations' names are. Now, however, for Magica and Northera, so if you watch the Walking Wednesday video with the whole Maddie situation, where apparently she said that she didn't know I had the name Magica in the title or whatever, Jacob said, "Well, it's not really a unique name. Earth, Earthira, Magic, Magica," and like, yeah, that's true. I wasn't trying to make it unique or anything like that. I was just trying to make it something that's like sense. Earth, Earthira.
It does make sense, but what I meant in that video is that you're bound to find somebody who has a similar idea because that would be a person's first idea.
Yeah. It's also like I know right that sometime eventually that someone else is going to have that idea as well. It was just kind of weird that as soon as like season 2 came out, at least like the first episode, she decided to do something with the word magica. So that's why I found it weird. So that is all. That is all. So, you know, like, I did at first say, like, oh, yeah, I don't think she was trying to steal or whatever. I'm going to be respectful. But, of course, until she decided to call someone a stalker. Yeah, you lost all my respect after that, Maddie.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Like, I was trying to be, like, here's the thing. Like, I wasn't trying to go be buddies with Maddie or anything like that. I just have a rule, like, if you have drama, okay, whatever, but I am just going to try to be respectful on my channel unless they decide to be disrespectful to other people, you know? And so, like, yes, technically Maddie was kind of being disrespectful to a lot of us and stuff like that, but I just, like, okay, I'm not personally going to say anything rude on my channel because I'm not that kind of person, you know? But what really crossed the line was calling Ghost Kitty a stalker, and that made me so ticked off. Like Junior, aka Relinquish Void, had to call me down. That's how mad I was. Like, he had to calm me down because when I found out someone was calling Ghost Kitty a stalker, I was like, I'm going to freaking murder someone. I'm going to murder Maddie. I'm going to rip her head off. Because, like, how is it? To me, I'm just confused. How is it stalking when you're posting a lot of community posts and stuff like that, and Ghost King is just giving us information that was on those said community posts? Like,
I don't know. How is it a private conversation if it takes place in community forums? It's the same idea. It's the same question.
Yeah.
Posed to the same person, fittingly.
Right. And so, you know, but anyways, I'm not. But yeah, but with Magica and Earthira, it just popped on my head. All honestly, he's just if anything, just find some inspiration. Like, maybe figure out if you have some dreams like that, and they say like a name or something like that, and you feel the vibe for it, then go for it. And also, like, you know, there are generators as well that can sometimes help with stuff like that. I know a lot of people are like, don't use AI generators. I'm not talking about AI generators. I'm talking about like name generators usually, because there are some like fantasy generator names and stuff like that that can be useful. And it's not, I don't think it's seriously AI. It might be AI, but it's not like that bad because it's just generating.
Technically, it's not generative AI. I guess it's just, you know, they probably already have like a pre-selection that's like, you know, been edited by people or something. That being said, if you're going to use one of those like random name generators, you don't always have to go with what they do, because Gacha had a randomizer as well for names of characters, and a lot of the time you could tell because half of those were hot garbage.
Oh, Jesus! Yeah,
the first thing that they found. Yeah,
but then there's also everyone else uses like just random Japanese names usually.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, that I can understand. If you're going to set
Guys,
your
I
series
think I
in
broke
Japan,
something.
it follows that most of the characters will be Japanese, most likely.
no.
So I can understand that.
Oh my god.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Okay. Sorry. I haven't been I've been like editing, and I've been getting the imports. I've been looking at the screen, and oh my, yeah, this is a look.
Oh god.
Why would it move?
This is absolutely a look.
Oh no.
I don't know. Press the reset button.
Please.
Stop moving.
Oh well, now nothing's moving. Everything was frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Is
I've
it
made
just
one
that?
edit test. Now I'm gonna do another one of talking,
Yeah.
which means I'm gonna have to
Oh,
grab out.
that's why. That's why. Okay.
Oh wait, I can't.
Why is it that one
Ah, no.
prop? One prop,
I
one
don't know.
thing.
I forgot that green
Okay,
screening in
what?
Blender is impossible. So
I'm guessing
I'm
guessing that whatever happened before, because whatever that thing they just happened to not to miss out on the programming for that specific one. I don't know.
But Ghoski, I don't know if this one has been used yet or not. I can't think of it on my head, but if you need an idea for a Pixie Kingdom, Pixoria. I don't know if that's good or not, to be honest.
Yeah, with names of places, you can have stuff like Aurea, Opia. In Spanish, Andia is very popular because that just means land. You get a lot of
Oh,
those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is reason I think caused a emotional meltdown. I also like to point out that how Maddie said that yet that would also mean that Josh is a sucker because he also updates on FL. True.
all right, time to make like 10 green screens of just a mouth.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna switch to William for a bit just for the sake
Yeah.
of variety. Here we go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. So
Yeah, currently I've been doing this just as a test.
Okay.
wait, William,
Just
are you
something
making,
quick.
are you making like another episode of a?
No, I'm not
Okay.
doing that. I'm not doing Global the Trail episode 2. If I was to do anything, it'd be remaking the first one. Because, oh boy, is it hot and garbage. And that was the point of it, but still, I want to make it less annoying for me to do. And
Yeah.
I think DaVinci Resolve is kind of limiting me because, oh boy, that was a pain in the neck.
Yeah,
Luckily,
I tried using DaVinci Resolve once upon a time, and yeah, I just couldn't get used to it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's
It's
just
a
that because
different interface
I've
than
been,
like Sony or.
yeah, because like I've been using Vega since 2016, so I'm so used to it that it was like such a contrast. Yeah.
Oh god, the music is so loud. I forgot I have the intro. Okay, good thing you guys can't hear it, so that's good.
Yeah, the chat can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
god,
word
Jesus.
limits on text now?
What?
There's word limits on the YouTube message things.
For the chat
What, you mean
messages,
for, like,
there's
the live
always
stream?
been.
Yeah, that's always been a thing.
I don't remember that.
What?
Well, it did.
What?
Definitely,
Where have you
it was.
been on YouTube the past 10 years then?
Like
What?
even ever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
absolutely
I
been a
s-
thing for since like
I
as long as live chats have been a thing.
I still have the episode 1 file. Oh no.
But yeah, I just gonna say I don't think there's any else I need to say about anything about Cryptolands besides like the
I
whole
still
Duncan
have this file.
the Duncan situation
How-
and the how Magic and Earthia was created, the magical creatures humans thing. So
How did I make this thing almost 5 minutes long?
I mean if you guys have I don't know, but if you guys have any questions, then I guess you can ask them. But yeah.
I'm gonna question myself for the rest of time now because of what I just remembered. Okay. Well, time to make green screen mouths, which is gonna require me changing screens. Hold on.
Yeah.
Group.
So.
Oh, by the way, William, I actually found a little bit of a life hack for green screen mouths that might help out. So what I did for the last remake, and what I'm going to do for people above as well, and for next episode of Musical, actually, I've actually started whenever I save screenshots, I go into the files of where they are. I mean, or screen captures. I mean, I go to the file where the screen captures are, and then whatever the head rotation of the character, I note down what the rotation is. It's mainly a Gacha Life 2 thing, but it was would be universally applied. And then when it comes time to putting the mouth onto the character, I'm actually able to look at that file name and see the exact rotation I need for the mouth, and then I'm able to edit it much more easily.
I'm assuming I'm trying to figure out which one was the regular green again. 'Cause it's been way too long. That's hair. That head.
You do skin color.
Skin color. Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me figure out to get rid of the eyes real quick because that looks wrong.
If you
Oh!
go on there, then
I forgot. Okay, I now remember. There's so many scroll stuff. That one is. I'm not gonna answer that. Like a long answer. Oh, hold on, I got
Hold
me.
on, hold on. Did you get a question in chat that?
Why are there 502 characters in this scene? Oh my days.
What? Oh no, I am. Oh god, why is it still showing the name? I don't want it to show name.
Okay, hold on.
You got
What
the profile.
character has a
Wrong shade
mouth
of
that is
green.
that high up on their head? William, what character has a
None.
mouth that's that high? Why is it
The
that
only-
high up on the character's head?
The only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm gonna crop like everything that's not needed out for like whenever I'm
Okay,
actually doing
so
this thing.
to hide the name, go to edit.
Bro,
Okay,
just
well,
get
actually,
rid of
no,
the
if you're
name
gonna-
and
if you're gonna
make
crop out-
the head the right shade of green.
Go to effects. Effects. Go to chat. Click on chat style number 2.
Bottom
Chat
right.
I'm in,
Bottom one. Go to 2. Yep, there you go. Now it hides
All
the
right,
name.
there we go. All right, now I'm gonna scalp this mouth until it's.
You know, you could do that in the quick set menu. If you just go to chat on the thing there, you can do the exact same thing easier.
Yeah. I
Oh, I
sometimes
didn't
just
really
forget.
make it
I don't think William was
forget
on
sometimes.
studio mode at the time. I think it would come
Yeah.
out by that point.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyways,
I need to clear out my
Just
webcam
for
now
the
so I
love of God,
can
make the
get these
head the right
recordings.
shade of green.
This is nightmare
Please,
Please,
fuel.
for the love
This
of
is
God,
this,
it's
this
the
is
wrong shade of green.
pure nightmare fuel.
so I think the so many scrolls part was a little bit confusing. So
Please.
because I didn't realize you guys were talking about. Okay, so there are only like 2 technically so many scrolls where you can either go
Oh,
to
wait.
towns and stuff like that if you need to get a safe place and stuff like that quickly, and usually sell in like taverns or libraries. The emergency summoning scroll, like I said, that one it has like certain like rules and condition of the person who bought the summoning scroll for someone to like summon themselves. So let's say Duncan got a emergency summoning scroll to give to Mandy. He will put in like certain rules and conditions on how Mandy can able to summon him and stuff like that. If those conditions and rules are met, boom, he is able to be summoned by Mandy. If not, then it will not work. And so, for example, so let's say if one of the rules was only Mandy can summon me using this scroll. So if the Dark Relic gets that scroll and tries to summon him, it will not work because one of the conditions was that only Mandy can do that with that specific scroll. You know.
I was
And then-
wondering why it wouldn't let me do that. Okay, there we go.
And then
I thought William was like trying to respond to what KW just says, like, "Oh yeah, I was
No,
wondering." Like William was the dark
No,
world the whole time.
Why?
I was trying to freaking figure out some stuff why it wouldn't let me set my location change for the
And yes,
recording.
there are, like I said, there are technically those like ultra rare scrolls that only advanced magic users are able to use. But they're really advanced, and there's only now because I kind of messed up the story rise, you know. But Zach's mom was a very advanced witch, and she was able to make a pendant that was able to go back to Magica and Etheria. And because of her death, no one really knows how to do that. But of course, you'd be like, well, didn't the Dark World like gave Kendra the staff where it is only one use to go to Etheria? Yes, because he only knew how to do it once through the dark book, the black book. And so, but she knew how to make it last a lot longer with the pendant. And in season 2, you were going to get a little bit in on the history of like Zach's family and the Dark World, that kind of stuff. You know how that is all connected. But yeah, that's going to be in the books. So I hope that explanation is a lot better than what I was trying to say.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that. I just wanted to clear some of those things up because I was 1, overwhelmed, 2, got confused on the questions, and 3, didn't really think real clearly. I should have known better.
Okay, so I guess that finally means that after 3
If you
attempts
had
at
a wish,
explaining,
you'd
we're
never
finally
let me
clear
down.
on the scrolls. Good to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope that
I hate
explanation
how
is
you're
a lot
so
more.
focused on my cursed screen right now. Please change it back.
Okay.
I don't think people want to see like just floating mouths right now, do they?
Yeah, there is still no reason it need to be that in that position.
There's still no reason it should be the wrong shade of green. The head is a different shade of the green. Please.
William is gonna cry.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I can't tell because I'm colorblind as hell.
Also, no offense to Miss Madison, but I hate how little story she had created for pretty current illness, yet also had like so many holes that is practically a slice of cheese.
Hold on, let me go
Again,
ahead.
I
And...
love how the whole of cheese thing is catching on as well.
oh my goodness! Yeah, okay, it is. Well,
But
time
yeah.
to re-record all of them.
I probably should get going because I forgot there was a Yu-Gi-Oh session, not in Junior server, a different server. But before I go, is all my explanations a lot better and clear things up?
I mean, the scrolls part was already okay because last time he kind of went over that in the previous one, but
Okay. Well, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
As for everything else, yes, it is. It is clearer, and the stuff that you haven't explained, will be explained in the books. I mean, you don't want to give away everything right now.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah. But like I said, like exact history and stuff like that. I mean, technically, since Emily and you, Jacob, you have the season 2 script, but it might be not 100% going to follow that script just because I want to explore more stuff than just try to follow that script. So, but there are some details in there that I'm still going to add to the books. So if you are curious about anything, you can read the full script.
Yeah, okay.
And if you have questions, you can also ask me questions. But yeah.
I forgot how tedious recording this was.
Oh
Like
god.
my sleep paralysis, demon.
Well, I mean, oh right, I was gonna say yeah.
Oh god, this is so terrifying. I probably should just go now before it gets any worse.
Oh, I have to go eat dinner, I'm pretty sure. Fine.
Oh, everyone's leaving all at once. Okay then.
I kind of forgot there was
I'll be
such.
back.
Okay, no, he's just.
I'm gonna turn off my virtual cam so you don't have to stare at mouths.
Here's the thing. I was planning to stay here longer, but then someone like pinged me and the other Yu-Gi-Oh DNCs are like, yeah, shit is happening today. And I was like, oh, well, I was planning to join this live stream. I guess I will not be staying for that long. So.
Yeah, fair enough. You got to go ahead and join in with the Southern Rage.
Oh my god, I hate you for that. Why? Why?
Because the impression of Joey Wheeler sounded like a cowboy. That's all I could think of. That's all I could think about while I was hearing the Joey Wheeler dialogue. I was like, what is this?
Oh yeah. Speaking of Southern Rage, okay. So Jake, remember I said I was trying to combine 2 songs into 1 song? You remember that?
Yes.
I will tell you this because I may or may not need help if you want to help with it. But it was going
This
to be
sounds like a difficult task.
Brooklyn Rage and Shipping Shrine.
Well, I mean, those are parodies of the same song, so I feel like that's probably a fairly simple task.
Yeah, but I'm stuck on a little bit on the chorus, so. But yeah, okay. Just a real quick story. So basically, I was just like singing, the Shipping Shrine part, and then Junior just started singing the Brooklyn Rage part, and like, you know what? These 2 songs together kind of works. And he's like, let's combine these songs, KW, please. And I was like, you know what? Sure, why not?
Okay.
Why did it look like that?
I don't know what's gonna 100% happen, but we're trying. It's just.
Yeah. I also remember that you said you were going to watch all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge as part of a reaction series. I remember that too.
Yeah, I did put that in the community because we did watch the first episode, but I got really uncomfortable because they did kind of say some like inappropriate stuff that I was not okay with. So we're just like, maybe we could come back to it another time.
Yeah, that doesn't persist, by the way. That's the as it progresses, there's less 2006 humor. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, when I was watching the first episode and tried to watch like the second episode, I was like, yeah, maybe in the near future we'll try it again. But right now, I'm not okay with this. But anyways,
I do love when I
am-
change my shirt and my whole left eye changes shape.
I've never seen this happen before.
I'm just going to go now. This
What do
is
you
going
mean?
to my eyeballs.
Yeah,
What
fair
do you
enough.
mean?
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to start sharing my screen now because I actually have all of the I have all of the imports. I managed to do that in the meantime. So let's see if I end up with the exact same issue. Why is it not showing up on my Windows? Did I? Nope, I didn't close it.
No, you're not allowed to do your own stuff. My tries badly to copy over designs. Why are you changing the eye?
Ah, here it is.
Why is
Okay.
it when you change your shirt and you put on a jacket, your eye shape changes?
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna test this. By the way, this is like the version of Emil that Emily sent. So yes, I did make changes because I said, and I quote, he looks like he's fresh out of college rather than rather than the old man he was supposed to be. So in that vein, let's see what happens if I change his jacket. Oh, apparently I'm saved from this.
And now he just has boobs. Damn
Not
it.
anymore. No, that's like a sliced in a like midsection. That's what I've left him with.
Oh,
Let's
my
try the
days.
shirts.
Where is this jacket? I'm
Nope.
gonna start
Apparently I'm fine. Apparently this is
Guys, I'm gonna start fighting. Where is this jacket?
Where's oh
Try to
your
find Darren's
screen's gone
jacket.
now.
But yeah, you unthinged it. I'm backstage. Oh, never mind. No, I'm not
Oh.
anymore. Oh no, it's just there we go.
Oh, I
Not
guess
Anglais?
I guess I don't know what William did then because he was able to. I guess because he had like his external cam. That's why he was using his like
Right.
digital cam in order to put that on screen. Which you know what that might actually be a better process. I hate editing eyes on Gacha Live too. Well, Mops, I think the issue is less editing the eyes in this particular instance, and more the fact the eyes want to edit themselves. At least
No.
based on what's happening to Emily right now, and
Oh
also and not
my.
me.
I can't
Well, look,
find
okay,
the
the
bloody
eyes.
jacket.
Well, look, at least the eye's
Oh, it's
consistent
right
now. That's
No,
like
'cause
a
it's,
universal
split up.
Gacha thing, where it's like, where is this one thing that I need? Where is the one specific thing in all these pages? Oh wait, there it is. Every Gacha version has that. Yeah.
Why are the sleeves like that? Oh, they're normally like that. Never mind. I'm having a moment.
Maybe I'll put my screen back on again in the meantime. We'll be back Emily will be back after these messages. Are you an old man stuck looking like your younger self? Well, I have the solution for you. I do, fortunately enough, have a screenshot of what I sent for Emil, actually. Because as it turns out, Control F is very helpful. That being said, I think I actually do have to remake Gars 1 and 2, as I never sent those over. What were you going to say?
I just have been remaking them from. Oh, I forgot to change his eye back. I've been like remaking them from either the episodes or I've just been taking the Gacha Club coats and then thing. But I remade Julius from the episode thing. Why am I on that page? Oh my days. Just copying over characters from Gacha Club to Gacha Life. This is causing me a lot of pain.
Yeah, I can say that copying characters from Gacha Life 2 to Gacha Life 2 is about the same. Amounts to a similar experience. And so the image is centered. I can't actually see everything. It's the popped collar. He's in his rebellious old man phase. It's got the pop collar. There we go. That's what it was. There we go.
He's in his rebellion old man phase.
Yeah, we know. Everyone knows that rebellious old man phase that old men go through.
Of course. Oh, my coffee's cold. Ugh. Gross.
There's like one discrepancy with the jackets and its positioning, I think. Something like that.
Oh, can we talk about how jacket lengths in this game are absolutely ridiculous? Speaking of which, why is that not the same colour? Excuse you? The thing's not the same colour.
Hold on, I'm
What?
putting your thing back on the screen.
It's not the same colour. But the outlines are the same. But that outline's not.
Well,
And I can't
I
fix
guess
it either.
I guess you do. I guess you just need to like check that or something.
Well, like
As
if
in-
both
as
the
in-
outlines are just like
Well, if the outlines are fine, then you don't need to change those. You're changing the outlines to black
yeah,
now.
but that's wrong. That it's the inside outline to that bit.
Oh no, I see it. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's probably just because of how the jacket length was, was input rather than. Yeah, that's not an error on your part. That's just whatever.
I know, but it needs to stop. It needs to unexist.
I shouldn't be offering this, but I'm pretty sure I can fix that in post.
Oh yes, more masking for you.
Yeah, like that. Honestly, like people underestimate this. Like my solution to like almost everything editing wise for the past year and a half has been masking. Like there are very
My
few things that I
solution
would
has
say
been
were
have
game
someone else
changing
do
for
it.
me, but that is true. People don't know what happens nowadays. Emily tends to record like the characters synced up to the audio separately on a green screen, and then I will do the positioning and then render those out. Which essentially is going to be a similar process to what I'm going to have to do for this people above scene. If I start with, because we haven't assigned, actually, did we assign scenes to each other? I should probably have checked that before we started. But I
No.
thought if we hadn't assigned them, yeah, then if I end up starting with scene 1, then I would most likely I would have to go into the green screen method, because what happens is it's the same. It takes place in the royal court. This isn't a spoiler because it's literally the first scene. It takes place in the royal court right after Moesha's jetpack scene. We cut back into the inside of there, and in that scene, in the original episode, what I had to do was because I was trying to use as much of like Gacha Life 2 as possible. I positioned all of the characters inside of what would be like the close equivalent to a throne room. Then found a separate thing with the thrones. Then position them so they would be sat on the thrones for each other, and then masked them back into where they'd be into the chairs, or like the banisters and everything. So that was so it looks multi-layered, but actually isn't. That's one of my favorite masking techniques, by the way. But that was a pain to try and do. That was one of my biggest motivators for like, I'm gonna sabotage Aiden so hard right now. It's like, if I'm putting in all that effort, I was at least gonna make it worthwhile. But yeah, so I still have the thrones, but I'm just probably gonna put them on the separate ones and then render them separately. Actually, I'm changing up my style. I'm adapting. And also, you know, episode 2 will, of course, will naturally have moving mouths from Gacha Club because that's, I feel like that's a good combination that, again, I was not able to do at the time in Gacha Life 2 itself. If the whole gimmick hadn't been, you know, make this in Gacha Life 2, then I probably would have gone back and forth. But, you know, the whole point was, you know, want to be the first voice-acted Gacha Life 2 series. So all that stuff has to come from there. But I think the moving mouths, that's fine. You know, if I import stuff from elsewhere, it doesn't not make it a Gacha Life 2 video. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
I keep adding mouths onto these people. I'm just gonna take them off.
What a sentence out of context.
Well, at least this time I don't have to faff around with mouth syncing with the posing. I can literally just focus on the posing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's also a thing because now with the moving mouths method, yeah, like we've been doing it so. Yeah, so that anything that's recorded over like a person's dialogue is just blank mouth, and then I deal with the mouth separately. One of the times where actually Aiden's last scene that he gave me was actually easier to edit that way, only because Aiden never actually changed anyone's head angles at all. Not that I'm suggesting that, Emily, because actually, you know, yours did turn out better because you turned the head angles, but just because since those were set that
I'm
way.
going to completely ignore that.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, that was like, yeah, Aiden made that part easier, but however, he made it more difficult by the fact that Sebastian had no eyebrows. I will never forget that.
I love how that was, because he also had no eyebrows to me. I went, hey, why doesn't he have eyebrows? And then I gave him eyebrows, and then Aiden went, he has no eyebrows? Cool. Anyway.
It's because, like, I guess, like, the wrinkles probably look like that,
I'm
but
back.
yeah.
I have garlic bread.
All right. Your dinner consisted entirely of garlic bread? Okay, fair enough.
No, it was something else as well, but...
Okay.
I have cold coffee and dish tape soaping tasting bubble tea.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it's one of the things that I remember something I talked to with Monet about, that a lot of like the appeal of plenty of the like modern gacha shows is just how advanced the editing actually is for people, and how like a lot of the comments are all about like, wow, this is, you know, so good for XYZ reason, or while the editing is so spectacular and stuff like that. And there is some merit to that, but then she kind of like flipped that on its head by saying like, you know, that was something that that stuff like Mutant Girl was lacking because it didn't actually make like the same like editing leap as other stuff did. And it's like, the thing is, it did make an editing leap. The problem is that the way that I edit things is that so you don't notice what's been edited, because that's because for me, a lot of these things, like especially masking, is literally meant to be covering stuff up. It's masking them. So if you do things that way, you're supposed to not notice it, and that's a good thing. If that's it just makes it so that, okay, the people just blend in. Though, okay, they're sat behind this table. You know, fine. Your brain fills in the gaps. In fact, actually, you know,
dude. Sorry.
Yes. Also, I just remember that Kaiser Neko, I see as a quote about this, you know, where during one of the creator commentaries of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, he says something. I forget what the it was the fact that that he forgot that that Piccolo had a lazy eye in a particular scene, and then but then you said like, oh well, I forgot that was even that was a thing that I had to like correct, and that means that I did my job. That was his quote. It's like, heck yeah, absolutely. And that being said, Emil will have a different shade of grey to his hair this time because I do not have the saved version of the other one.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just guessing on the slider.
Only. Oh my! I forgot those more animated mouths. Oh no! I thought there was only 3 left.
You thought there was only 3 animated mouths?
No, 3
I know
left. He's doing all of them.
Oh. I was so confused. I was like, what are you talking about?
I was so confused about your confusion.
There's still like 9 more I have to. Oh no! I'm trying to do this all in one recording as well, and just pausing every time, so that's fun.
You know, the one thing that I've realized that with Emil's design could would improve Emil's design actually would be if like hair fades, you could like fade the outlines as well. I don't know why it took me so long to think of that, but yeah, that would. Yeah. Because like his grey hair contrasts the outline that he has, but that was in the photo, so that's not like a plot hole or anything. That's just how he was presented.
Oh, I hate that outline. Oh, I'm gonna fight the eyes in this game. Oh, they're there.
6
Never mind.
more to
I'm not
go.
gonna fight them.
You're
gonna
Okay.
fight eyeballs?
Yeah, I'm gonna fight the eyeballs, guys. Meet me outside in the Tesco's parking lot.
I was about to make a cash me outside joke and I stopped myself.
Catch me outside.
With
How
these
about
animated
that?
mouths in particular, I don't actually know who uses these ones I'm capturing now, but
Bro's shaking, quaking in his boots. That's the wrong shade. No, it's not.
this one is one of the ugliest ones. Jesus.
Okay, Aiden made this one. Don't ask how I know that off by heart.
And this one is just square.
I mean, especially considering that. Well, oh wait, yeah, we can't actually see what's.
Well, I don't see anyone in the any mind using this animated mouth ever.
I've seen that in the Music Freaks like once.
Oh.
It's good, yeah. Because the thing with us is that we don't tend to use too many of the animated mouths, particularly in our circles, because they are too cartoonish for what we're trying to do. I've used that one before, actually. I will admit that I have used this one. But yeah, that's the thing because Gacha is so over the top sometimes that it actually, even in the comedic moments of our series, it tends to be a little bit too much.
Nobody in the I don't
switch
think I've seen anyone use the bubblegum one.
I'm gonna say again, Music Freaks, but for like a background character.
Okay, I'm done. I've gotten all of them recorded. Now, time to find an audio clip.
God's name are those shoes?
Again, what are those? Just send me out for all of the old meme references.
Sometimes the only reason I can tell it's an Aiden's gotten so good at designs that sometimes the only reason I know it's his is because of some of the ridiculous shoes he uses. They would be so good, utterly perfect, undistinguishable from like anyone else's editing style. And then I get shoes. I see shoes on characters like this.
Hmm.
Why? I'm disappointed in a character Aiden made like a year ago.
It
His hair's
happens.
not the right bloody shade. Is that right?
Yeah, you know, I
Yeah.
think because like that's like all of us have
Nope.
have worked together for so many years at this point. We have all just like gradually adapted it to ourselves. That being said, every time I start a new series, I try to do something at least a little bit different with the designs. But again, because there's so few times, it's not that I do start a new series, then it's hard to notice, and people think my style is still the same stuff I was doing in Gacha Life 1 because continuity can't really stray too far. It's why there are still no noses in the Mutant Girl. There never will be because that just would not be consistent. That being said, I just realized that Emil doesn't have his nose yet, so need to do that at some point. After I find his beard.
Why are the lenses doing that? Are these not the right glasses?
Yeah, this isn't the right beard either. It's too tidy. Needs to look. There it is. There's the disheveled beard that I gave him.
Who's my scruffy little homeless man?
It is I! I am the scruffy homeless man! Have I mentioned how much I love voicing Emil?
Oh, are those the glasses? What glasses are these? They are. They are the right glasses. Why have they changed? Why are they now thinner? Unthin them. Oh, Christ. No? Oh. Again. No. Please, sir. Oh, there we go. I did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people have truly realized that they like normally with me if somebody wants to voice a particular character in a series, especially if we're doing like a closed casting thing, then I'm just like, okay, yeah, you do this part. That's why I voice so few characters in my own stuff, but like tons in other people's. But in the case of Emil, it's like, no, I put my foot down. It's like, no, I want to voice this guy. Like this is my moment. And that's why I was able to go so over the top on the comedy. So I guess it's a rare combination for me to not only be voicing like a lead of sorts, but also on top of that, also be like, in charge of the script and the direction.
I helped with the script. I sat there and looked pretty.
I wasn't saying that no one else helped with the script. I mean, like I was heading that process.
Well, you were doing most of the work, but I did do most of the
script. Yeah. If people don't remember what happened with the first episode of People Above, we did this script and we recorded all the voice lines and everything like in advance. And when Gacha Life 2 came out on mobile, we saw how let's say incomplete it was, because we didn't know it was going to be a beta version. That wasn't entirely clear. And so even though we'd because like Aiden and Emily are two of the fastest editors that I know, so it's like, okay, fine, between the three of us we were able to pull this off in a timely fashion. But as soon as the Gacha Life 2 thing happened, we actually that like both of them dropped out pretty much immediately. So I was just kind of left scrambling. I was like, okay, I still want that record. So I guess I'll just do it myself. And so I did, and that's why I did most of episode 1.
And then Aiden also tried making that sort of thing, and that was
exactly. Top 10 anime betrayals.
Your best friend was like,
the moment that I found out that Aiden was making Hitler, like, well, I knew that Mrs. Dysart spin-off was going to happen because I signed off on that and I also helped with the script on that one. And
You
I
weren't
was in
expecting
so-
it that soon, though, did you?
Exactly. I was expecting to be in Gacha Life 2, nor was I expecting him to make such steady progress because, again, he was the first person to like opt out of the procedure. So like, oh, Gacha Life 2 is going to be too much. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to do my own show in it. So
He
it's
decided,
like,
you know what, screw it, I'm gonna suffer.
yeah, it's like, well, I mean, the person who was really suffering was me because I was there. Like suddenly I had a deadline because Aiden finished episode 1 and like scheduled it to like have it appear in like 2 weeks. So suddenly, out of nowhere, I had like an actual official deadline for like having the record.
Yeah.
So for the next 2 weeks, I was there like, okay, gotta do this. People up, like laser focused on everything to do with this, whilst also not trying to compromise the quality of it because I mean, it was supposed to be a more like efficient series to do. Because we were expecting stuff like like imported backgrounds and stuff, so we thought, okay, we're going to do this. But yeah, not only did some of the advantages just not present, some of the stuff I was used to wasn't there either. So it was like, okay, I had to learn this new procedure while also making this efficient, while also not making the quality decline because I don't want to end up in a situation where everything seems too rushed. And that's the difference that people have now between like People Above and Mrs. Dysart, because when it came out, it was quite clear which one was made on a severe time crunch versus the one that like was just me staying up even later than usual, being like,
You're just like, please make it stop.
yeah. Like I have learned to I will never be able to go to be as minimalistic as Aiden is, because on an instinctual level, because I now know the things that I didn't back in the day, I can never do something that is as simple as like Mutant Girl Season 1, for example. Not necessarily a bad thing, but definitely something that is noticeable. And does impact the process. I think it's also kind of a similar thing to like what Rosie Closey kind of went through recently, where she was like, I'm going to try and scale this back. Say we're going to do like a sock puppet animation style, which is easier for me to do, but also still looks good. And then makes a community post like 3 months later, being like, new spin-off is happening. Also, don't know what I was saying before about the sock puppets. Ignore that. That never happened. More animation. Better than ever, baby. Like, okay, she didn't say that exactly, but it was in the vein of that.
Basically asking for hell again, I guess.
Yeah, because it is so hard to like take that step back once you cross that threshold. Which is also one of the reasons that even though BB has asked me if I'm gonna move to like tweening animation or something for any Gacha project ever, and I highly doubt it, for the simple reason that if I end up doing that, there will be no going back. And also I feel like based on what we've been doing so far, I'm still making progress editing wise, and people still seem to really like the videos. So that's ultimately I don't think I'm in any dire straits. Maybe there's some merit to what Monet said before about the more visibly improved editing for people, and how tweening animation is to everyone else's mind an improvement over what is there before. But yeah, like I'm willing to sacrifice that part of growing an audience if it involves like keeping everything else that is entailed with it.
Mm-hmm. Let me actually change my screen to Blender again. Because I've been stuck on a brick wall for a little while.
Oh, to correct myself, everything else and also my own mental sanity. Both of those things.
The sanity has been lost for this one.
Well, that's the thing. It almost got lost, but just managed to hold on. I think mainly one of the reasons I held on for so long was my motivation of sabotaging Aiden, because I was so annoyed about that. It's like, I must get revenge, and that was like my driving force.
I must have my revenge.
Yeah, people say revenge is not a motivator. It can be. That's my take on that matter.
Yeah. Anyways, I need to find an audio clip, but I think I have one in mind.
Okay.
I'm just gonna grab some random meme audio because I don't care.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like making like a
It's from
running
YouTube Shorts.
thing
I
and-
don't even care if it's from YouTube Shorts because that's the heck hole that never gives up.
No, it's just yeah, just go to the shorts feed. I edit 4 or 5 hours straight. Like ain't no subs at all.
The YouTube Shorts feed is a.
People put the effort. Yeah, they get it all. That's a that's a Sense by Buns parody, by the way.
Oh Jesus Christ! I still some of these characters I had from when I was working on frickin' Go with the Tail. What were me and Aiden doing?
Did you guys ever find out about the secret channels me and Aiden made to try and prank you guys?
Until this very moment, not really.
So
I knew that
like,
Aiden was
most
going
I
to do
can think
something
of was
like that at some point, but I never looked into which ones they might be or anything.
back in about 2 years ago, Aiden hit me up and was like, you wanna prank everyone with me? And we were like, and I was like, sure. So we made 2 channels and we were like, okay, they're brother and sister from wherever. And I was the older sister, he was the younger brother, and I know it was somewhere in America. Where the hell are the pearls? Please, for the love of God. And we were brother and sister and we made these things, and I know mine was called like Kitty Rose Gacha or something, and it was so cringe. And like,
I do remember the name Kitty Rose Gacha.
What
It
was
was
the?
just-
I'm trying to think if was the other one that one that. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Was it?
Yeah, I remember
I'm trying to forget the
Rose
name of the
Gacha,
other
but
one.
only from like random comments.
I forgot what the name of freaking
yeah,
that one channel Aiden made was because I remember that existed. Like
Oh,
Daniel
Alpha
Boy or
Boy,
something.
Alpha
Yeah.
Boy Daniel. Alpha Boy Daniel was the
Yeah.
one that Aiden did. Yeah, I heard. I like Aiden confessed to that one a long time ago.
Yeah.
Never said it
That
was
might
anything
be
for
the
Kitty Rose Gacha.
either way, there were videos on that. I made a video on that. It was like a meet the thing. I think I said, I was like, oh, I'm 15 and my name is Rose. I'm 15. I'm 5'6" and like whatever. I
like
remember
long
I'd
walks on
have
the
to
beach.
physically I'd have to physically find the video. Where in God's name are the pearls in this game? But I just have a vivid memory of us doing that and going into your live stream chats and giggling to ourselves because we're like, oh, we're pranking him so good.
And yeah, meanwhile, I'm just like, yeah, it's good. To new random people who are just saying perfectly
God, I
normal
found them.
things.
Yeah.
I think we went in the chat. I was like, hi, this is my little brother, whatever. Oh, you're so funny, big sis. Like, we were cringe. I remember that much, but.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The Alpha Boy Daniel thing, the reason that Aiden confessed that was because like Alpha Boy Daniel's whole thing was was like a series of like an alien princess, but that never went anywhere. I was like, that was in the back of my mind because I saw those videos because I was actually gonna make a video on the channel. I'll back to that in a second. But yeah, because the channel never updated again, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna adapt that. I also happened to see like this I don't know what the name of the show is. It's an Australian show that was about was about a band where the 2 main characters were twins, but they also related to this German aristocrats, and he was a baron. They actually lived in a castle for the summer, and so I was like, okay, those things together. So I'm gonna say that someone becomes like an alien baroness, and then as soon as I said that, Aiden was like, "That sounds like my idea for an alien princess." Like, hold on, your idea? And then he confessed to Alpha Boy Daniel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, as much as we give KW flack for the whole like real name revelation, Aiden was just as bad. Yeah, and the reason I was going to make a video on Alpha Boy Daniel was actually because that was like shortly after I just made a video on Vanshees, which of course followed my video on Dramadonia. So sometimes whenever I find like a random channel or something, and you know, it was like make that into like a featurette of some kind. But like I guess Aiden immediately tried to game the system, I suppose. And because he's the one who recommended Alpha Boy Daniel to me and was like, okay, this is a new person who seems to have it seems to be making the rounds or whatever. Fine, okay, there's something interesting in here. Don't think I had time to make the video. I think that's the only reason I didn't actually take him up on that. But yeah, he kept on like asking me about the updates of that. I was like, why are you so keen on this channel? Because like now it's been a few months. It's like, well, there's no point anymore because there's been no updates. And I guess Aiden thought if there were an update after I said that would be too suspicious, so he just didn't bother. That's one of the reasons I had to like close down like the idea of like turning down like requests of people's channel reviews, because people just kind of trying to game the system. It's kind of like with William's situation, like, oh hey, check out this series.
Oh God, yeah, that.
It's like that was William's own recommendation. People keep like gaming the system in terms of that. So it's like, okay.
I purely did that because I was bored, I think.
I mean, yeah.
Ended up spawning green apple mutants.
Yes, exactly. The Apple Warriors. Yeah, so see, sometimes like along with like Alien Baroness and like Apple Warriors, there are some things that can come from that situation.
Yeah, some things, but not everything.
While I'm confessing, do you guys remember the Mutant Girl fan character accounts that came into chat like 3 times?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It's like I knew that was somebody pranking me. Yeah.
That was me.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know why you were talking about it in chat. You were like, oh, I find it really not in chat, in live stream, and you were like, I find it really funny when people pretend to be like the characters in chat. I was like, the opportunity is arising. So I was I made an account, I made an email, done and dusted.
Well, there were several of them. It wasn't even just you, I guess, because if I mentioned that means it was already a thing, right? Because if I was saying that something, then why was I talking about that then? If it was,
I don't know.
Oh wait, okay, no. So what I think I guess what I was saying was that what was that some people would just be like, Morwena, and then say like a line or something, and that was what I meant. Kind of like what Johnny does with his own characters sometimes. How we get comments like directly from some of the disco pops as we're immediately like roasting their entire livelihoods.
Yeah,
that was probably what I was referring to, and then he was like, "Oh, I guess now, yeah. Speaking of that, enter Morwena, I guess. Hello, creation of mine." That was a surreal experience.
There was multiple of them as well. There was like Morwena, there was Reina. There was a few others.
Yeah. I'm surprised you people chose Reina, but yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was mostly Morwena, Reina, and Agatha that made the rounds
at the time.
Ah, I see. Yeah, so.
Oh my god, I thought I was done. Bloody Marwick. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, you got one of like the big seems like everyone towards the end. Yeah, I assigned myself the scene that had 2 people in it and 1 line of dialogue.
I was assigned this scene before I was doing my current method as well.
Yeah, your current method was born from, from necessity because your computer kept crashing or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then my phone just wasn't working and the green screen app just kept deleting everything that I was using. And it also had a watermark and everything was dying. And I was like, okay, I don't want to stop editing. So I'm just going to resort to letting someone else do the hard stuff for me while I sit pretty and do the easy stuff.
Kind of like the people above scripts.
Kind of like Final Break. Why? I just tried to.
Final Break is your show, so I feel like I thought you would have more like control and oversight over the script.
Final Break is my show, and yet I pay someone else to edit for me. I'm also not even making my own intro. I'm also getting someone else to make my intro.
Okay, yeah, fine.
And my props,
that all makes
and
sense.
My thumbnails.
Yes, okay, that all makes sense. But I mean, like, I thought you were talking about like the script, because normally that's the part.
Yeah, but other people help me with the script too. You and Aiden help me with the script. KW's helped me with the script. Vin helps me with the script. Bon helps me with the script.
That's okay. That's more people than I thought, but also like ultimately, like you're the one who's like done the most on the script, right?
Oh yeah, no, people haven't really written anything. It's just most of them have like seen the script, commented on it. Vin opened up
Okay,
one of my major plot holes, and then I got annoyed about it. And then I went, God damn it! Why'd you have to say anything?
Well, just
And
as
then
well,
I
otherwise it would have come up in the. It would have been worse if it came up in a review.
also I just tried to import a Gacha club code into GL2. What am I on right now? I'm actually losing the plot.
I wish that were a feature. Actually, that would have been really helpful towards the beginning.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good thing for like any gacha apps, just to be able to import codes from the other apps, or have some sort of converter. Actually, you know what? There should be a website actually where where you can convert like one type of import code or export code into another, and just like be able to like click with a button or something. That should be like I feel like Luname would be able to get some margin out of that. A couple of pop-up ads on the side of the screens or something, get some extra money. That'll work for them. I have no idea how long it takes to design a website, but I assume less than it takes to make a game. So, what was I going to do? Oh yes, that's right. Now I've finished. Now I finished making a meal old again. I need to look back at the actual episode of The People Above, so I can check where everyone was on screen.
Now he's a crippling old man. What in the world is this hair? Oh, because they removed the bloody thing. All the. I'm gonna start fighting. Oh, it's right there. Never mind. I've said that 7 times, and each time I've found it immediately after I've said that. Is that the right one?
Yeah, but by the way, if you're still making Marwick, is Hansuke still in the presets? If so, he might be in. I think. Oh, okay. I was gonna say he might have been in the fire section.
I'm pretty sure half of them are just like gone. Like I could only find Phantom.
I wonder if Luname had a falling out with them or something.
I was gonna say I think they all 2 of them broke up. I'm pretty sure. I think Pat and Senpai Buns, not Spy Buns. What's the
Senpai
actual one?
Buns, the actual
Senpai Buns. I
the
think
actual
they
one.
broke up.
Yeah.
They broke up, and I think that caused a massive falling out for some reason. Because that was the start of quote unquote the downfall. Where is this hair?
The downfall. I haven't looked into this. The only company downfall I looked into was Blue Jay Studios, as they were known at the time. The Exodus.
That wasn't downfall. I just meant like all of them stopped posting, and then half of them got removed from GL2, and like it was obvious they weren't in contact anymore. Where is it?
Yeah, I guess that sounds like people would have had to have taken sides or something like that. I don't know.
Is it? Where is it? Wait, what? The hell you mean to? Bro. I'm not having it.
I like when the Butterburst pilots, the Many Miss and Mrs. Dysart is first on the list because it goes in order of most recent pilots, and the People Above is like right underneath.
Yes.
Wait, actually, hold on. Puppy Love is above both of the drama clubs. That's not right. That definitely needs to be shuffled down. Oh, none of these are in order. It's just because I added them in. I added those two in that order. Okay, never mind.
Oh, it's there. Oh my days.
There's no reward to this.
Okay, no, that's 2. Okay, ain't
Also,
no way.
I need to add some of these. I haven't got My Typical Fairy Tale on here, or Demon Girl Saves the Underworld.
Well, it's not like Not Your Typical Fairy Tale is ever going to continue, but...
Well, I mean, it's...
it could, but...
Okay,
I was going to say, isn't there like one more episode or something? It was like a 2-parter, right?
There's 2 more episodes. It was a 3-parter.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
oh
the
that's right.
thumbnails for them.
Oh, that's right. Cherub's Tale was the two-parter, which I also don't have.
Yeah. I have, however, for Not Your Typical Fairy, we did lose every single voice actor. I think for like most of the characters are gone. Olive's gone.
Did
Her
they
mum's
record
gone.
the
Like
lines?
everyone's gone. No,
Oh,
we'd
okay.
have to replace the entire cast, pretty much. Apart from the principal, who doesn't show up again. So helpful.
I think for Not Typical Fairy Tale, I was meant to be a teacher, wasn't I? So yeah, I can still.
Yeah,
Oh
Spanish
wait.
one.
Oh, yeah, I was the Spanish teacher, which probably accentless this time because apparently that gets me in hot water. As you know,
I've
it gets
just
other people in
realised-
hot water. I got excused apparently. People seem to be on my side for that, despite the fact that I was defending the person that they were against, which makes no sense. Anyway.
History book on the shelf. Much. That's the wrong shade of brown.
History book on the shelf. Much. What?
Because Final Break in it.
Oh.
Actually, that's not confirmed yet, because I keep bloody changing the bloody occupations of the teachers. What you teach, you'll never know. I've also scrapped, like, the original flashbacks, so it's not like it matters. One's still written, not like it bloody matters.
I don't have the chair poses anymore, or the throne poses.
By the way, I found a Google Doc from a YouTube video that has every single, like, Gacha Club pose remade into GL2. Like, every single one. It is stunning. It's beautiful.
Let's see if I can find that actually.
I can send it to you. I have it open.
Oh,
Okay, so apparently, with the
Yes,
way
please.
that Blender works, there seems to be
It's a
no easy
beautiful
way
little
for me to do green screen lip sync, which makes it basically impossible.
well,
Pull on me. Give it to Jacob.
I just couldn't screen anything, so.
I mean, without going frame by frame on this, like one of the only things that I don't tend to mask is usually those mouths. Oh wait, no. Okay, hold on. Actually, that's a lie. I did do something similar once. William, one thing that you can do is change the background of that, like change the green to the skin tone of the character that you're using, and then like trim around it. If there's a way to do masking in Blender, trim around that, and that's how you do it. I did that for Kylie in the the remake. I don't know why I changed that for Kylie. Actually, I think I might just thought it was better at one point.
Kylie's special.
Kylie at that moment in time was special. No typical fairy tale. What's that? We've got a question of what not typical fairy tale was. Would you like to explain it?
Nope.
Right.
Not you, William. I meant Emily, because again, her show.
Yeah, William. Right. So back in like 2 years ago or something, I was complaining to Aiden about how I couldn't post normal. This was after Sheriff's Tale. How whenever I posted normal content, or if I wanted to post normal content, it just wasn't gonna happen with the way my old channel was laid out, because that is not why people subscribe to me. We all know the reason they're subscribed to me. Let's be real here, guys. So I was complaining about that, and Jacob was like, just make an undercover identity. So what did I do? Make an undercover identity. So that is how our dear little Echo Angel was born. And it was not a well-kept secret. It fooled BB. It was not a well-kept secret otherwise. Mostly because I used my own voice for the audition video. I did not change it. That OC is also wrong in that audition video because Aiden got the character code wrong.
You know
But,
what's weird? You used to put on a different voice whenever you did like voiced videos on Emily Nightwolf back in the day. You used to like make yourself more high pitched on purpose, and now you've done the complete opposite.
Sometimes I made it more high pitched because I thought I was older than I. That made people judge me harder, and then I got told to kill myself more. When I put on a higher voice, I sounded younger, so people felt bad telling me to do that.
Which is you would think that for like the video that people told you that the most actually was the Clara gets pregnant one, but that one there's no talking in that, so people just really thought like, oh yeah, clearly this video that must have been made by a child. Let's be real. We're just going to be as mean as possible because I guess we have plausible deniability. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Internet's
know.
weird.
Everyone thought I was older than I was, so it's like, you know what? Child. I wanna be little and which still doesn't work for me now because now people just hit on me because they think I'm an adult.
How old are these people that are hating on you?
Presumably also adults. They're looking for
20-ish.
other adults. Yeah, that makes sense.
Most of the time they back off.
The ones who don't.
What was I doing?
Where's my hammer?
The ones who don't get blocked, I presume. Possibly, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's this one story. Someone from Aiden's. I will get back to what I was doing in a second. Talking about Naughty Typical Fairy. The one guy from Aiden's server contacted me. It was like the editors wanted server or something, and I was like, "Hi," and they were like, I don't know. They were asking me questions. I was like, "This is cool." They were like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Depends. How old are you?" Because I don't tell people my age without telling them. And I don't know. Pretty much this conversation laid out where he was deaf, a kid fiddler. But I don't know. He was like, he asked me whether I had dirty thoughts. And
That's the second question?
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
No, it might have been the third. Like, keep in mind, I had said my age because I was like, because he started hitting on me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell you I am a minor. Did not stop. Then asked me, do you ever think inappropriate thoughts or something along that lines? I was like, I'm insert age a year younger than what I am now. What do you think? And he was like, I don't know. So do you?
I was gonna say, you probably don't want to answer that question.
Yeah, just.
I was like, anyway. He was like,
yeah,
okay, so we can work together then. I was like, work on a project? He was like, no, you know what I mean? And I was like, no, I don't. You're 21. Go away.
I remember that one guy on one of my Discord servers. There was the musical community one who got really mad when people refused to reveal their own ages for justifiable reasons for different people. But it was like, oh, if I need to know people's ages, otherwise I don't know how to like interact with them. It's like, just treat everyone equally. Like, what's the difference? Never got that. But yeah, but if that person were here today, they probably would understand why some people, keep that a secret.
I don't know why I've been talking about my age so honestly. I've said it multiple times on stream, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I
said it on my birthday stream actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ghosty revealed her own identity, her real name, in the last stream, and that's probably not going to get him brought up for another year or so.
Now, so yeah. Hope you have a good day, everybody, and yeah. Bye.
Bye. All right, not your typical fairy tale then, I guess.
Okay. Right, so I made Echo Angel, made the channel, I made a thing, and then we started working on Not Your Typical Fairy Tale. This was after Sheriff's Tale, after my whole emo phase was sorted out, when me we we were very determined on this. We were determined on Cherub's Tale for the most part, but this time we stayed motivated. We weren't passively aggressively arguing every 2 seconds. Like, things were going well. Arguably. Then we were like, okay, funky little lesbians. So then we wrote it, 3-parter, cool,
I was gonna say,
great, character
both
designs.
Cherub's Tale and Not Typical Fairy Tale have funky little lesbians in them.
Yep.
That's probably was a clue that they were developed at roughly the same time.
So made the script, sent out an audition video, got an end card, got an intro, got the voice actors, got everything done and dusted. And then it came to actual editing, and for some reason, again, I started being a little emo. So I very quickly just wanted to drop out of this project and die. And Aiden was like, no, it's fine. I'll do it. I was like, okay, well, at least let me try and do something. So I did one scene very badly. Actually, I might
I like
have
how
done two.
the threat of full creative control from Aiden was enough to get you out of your slump. At least somewhat.
I was like, okay, at least let me do something, because I don't want you to. Because by this point, we all knew how Sheriff's Tale turned out. I was like, okay, let me do something. It'll be fine. We'll all be good. Don't give up on me just yet. So I did one scene, maybe two, and Aiden did the rest. One of the scenes I didn't know he did, by the way, because it was originally meant to be mine. I was very confused. It was fine because he edited it all together, sent it to me. It was not inspired by Not Your Average Girl. I don't know what that is.
Oh, Not Your Average Girl is one of my favorites gacha series, and it's the one that got me into Midori stories. We haven't got there yet as far as the actual program was. I just realized the screen share should be in the center. You haven't got that far yet, but that was like the first time that I actually saw something in gacha, and it actually impressed me on a visual level. Because and that was like, oh, wait a minute, you can do this kind of stuff, and that's what sort of prompted the first jump in quality of the Mutant Girl. So yeah, significant show for me for that reason. As far as the story goes, we'll get there when we get there in Gacha review. But yeah, that was what really made Midori stories start to gain popularity. So yeah, that was why. Haven't shown it to anyone else yet. If people say, I did make a video about it on the Gacha review channel, the one that hasn't got any, I've only got a couple of videos on it. But yeah, we will do one on here as well, because that just makes sense. So yeah, continue.
The name Not Your Typical Fairy Tale specific, it came from the fact we were like, okay, we've got some lesbians, right? And I was talking about, because this was when I was in my lesbian phase, so I was talking about how I found it really funny that I was always told prince and princess stories and stuff growing up, and I ended up being lesbian. I'm bi.
You didn't know you were bi at the time, actually.
Not. No, but yeah, so I was having a moment. So yeah, and then I was like, so then it started kind of becoming sort of like a fairy tale, and the first scene is Olive's mum telling her a fairy tale with a bunch of references for some reason. It's more something.
This sounds like an Aiden script, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably because Aiden wrote it, that scene. So yeah, I was like, this reminds me of when you have those stories where the main character is in like a heroine thing, because I was really into these like subverting expectation heroine TikToks. It was like these slutty outfits. Can I say that? Is that a bad word?
I think so.
These
Promiscuous
inappropriate
outfits.
outfit,
Yeah.
promiscuous. Thank you. These promiscuous armor sets are not practical. Like I don't know the YouTuber now. It was on YouTube Shorts, something. But I got really into that.
Anita
So I was like,
Sarkeesian.
this, you know what this should be called? Not your typical fairy tale, because she's gay.
She's not like other girls.
She's not like other girls. She wants to screw the other girls.
I was gonna say she's not like other girls. She likes the other girls. That would have been a tagline. We didn't make taglines for our shows, but that would have that could have worked.
So, and then eventually it just didn't. First episode was posted. That video has like, it has a good fair few views and a good fair few comments going, when's part 2? And it's like,
A fair
up my
question.
bumhole. You know? Gone with the wind.
With an interesting answer.
It's probably not going to continue. I'm not going to lie. I don't even think I have. No, I probably do have the character codes. I haven't even gone from my mind, and with starting a new project. No, it's not my focus. Nor will it be my focus in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, that's the problem with like how long it takes us particularly to make gacha videos. Because it's hard to have like more than one show at a time. Like the reason I'm doing People Above right now is because I know that I have no other scenes of Mutant Girl for the next episode to do at the moment, so I'm using that time. But if not, I would be I'd still be on Mutant Girl because it's been that long. It's been almost a year since the last like numbered episode, if we don't count the Christmas special and the remake. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be but yeah, the reason I'm not like cramming this stuff now is because like other people have had those scenes assigned to them, and
bloody thing again.
Case in point, we're Emma's working on one of them right now. Aiden's got 2, which I might take one from him actually, but we'll talk about that next time he's like active.
Did you send BB an invite?
No, I don't think so. I sent one to the Mutant Girl editors and to I didn't know she wanted to like.
Let me in.
Oh, I didn't know she wanted in. Okay, fine. Hold off. One moment. I'll put it in the bottom and see if Aiden sees it.
He might be
He
working.
wouldn't have seen it, but yeah, he probably is.
Can you see that eyeline?
Hold on. Let's see the
On her
eye.
left eye.
No, let me go on full screen. Not over restream at least. It's a bit pixelated for me, but so don't take that for granted. But I don't think so. I don't see anything. B, what
Good
about
enough
you?
then. BB.
Oh, I see me now. Hi. Yeah, I might be on and off because my nephew's here, but it's a chill stream, so I'm not as
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so those of you who are not in the Butter Bunch group chat, which would be basically everybody.
Yes.
Yes, the group chat with 4 members.
Yeah, exactly. And one of those members never speaks. They do sometimes. They talk more than they upload or join. I can tell you that much. But I woke up this morning and I had a Phineas and Ferb moment. I said, Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. And I said, I want to work on a video game. I don't know what, but I want to make a game. And I'm still kind of weighing whether I will or won't. But I did download Unreal Engine, and I have Unreal Engine open for the first time today. And I'm just gonna fiddle around with it, maybe.
I mean, that's fair, but do you have a concept for your video game? It's good you've got the engine, by the way. Like, you know, you've got the tools for the job, but do you have, you know, the idea for the job?
I have too many ideas.
Okay.
I
have a 3-page long list of projects that I want to do at some point. So
Okay.
I kind of want to work on a horror project, but I don't.
Of course you do.
Oh, I don't know. I watched a video yesterday and I felt inspired because it was one of those games where it was like, oh, you get to speak to the ghost or whatever. And this is a concept that I've always kind of had, but it's like I always kind of wanted to take that to the next level, see what I can do with that concept.
Ouija board, the video game.
Well, because a lot of them were like, oh, you can say their name and talk to them. It's like, okay, but how far can we take that though?
I mean,
I don't know.
you could have it so that there's like a selection of names or something. So if you wanted to have voice acting in the game, you could just have like a selection of different names that interchangeable lines or something. Or if it's non-voice acted, just let the player input the name. Name the hero.
No, I mean you would speak say the name of the ghost or whatever, and you would ask them a question.
Again, you can definitely have a player program the name of a ghost, or have lines where someone says a ghost name fairly easily.
Sure, I mean more so how far can you take the interactability?
Oh,
of course, that was just kind of what inspired me. I don't know if I'll do it for this project or not, but I don't know. It got me thinking. Of course, the other thing is I also kind of want to work on that King Arthur game, but I would have to sit down and read some King Arthur.
Yeah. That's not necessarily a spur of the moment thing. I've always wondered, video games aside and stuff, if people try to talk to ghosts a lot of the time, actually, I imagine that ghosts would be terrible conversationalists. If think about most of the time in the case of when people use Ouija boards or something, or dowsing rods or anything really, it's just more of a case asking the ghost a bunch of questions and then nothing else. Oh, I've learned all this stuff about this presence that is here. Bye. That's it. It never amounts to anything else. There should be a Ryan George sketch about that, I think.
Here's my thing. I've always thought it's really funny because I mean, I think it's no secret a lot of the videos that we watch about ghost hunting and stuff probably aren't real, right? I do believe in ghosts though. But I always find the idea of oh, this spooky evil force, and it's hey, maybe they wouldn't be so angry all the time if whenever you went there, you actually had a conversation with them. It's I'm gonna ask you 100 questions, and if you give me anything even remotely based on personality, I will now scream and freak out about how excited I am. It's man,
that sounds more like a threat than a encouragement. It's that's a good thing your eardrums don't work anymore. Otherwise, you'd be complaining right now.
Right? It's I watched Charlie's video recently. Not he uploaded a ghost video today. I don't mean today's recent video. The last ghost video he did. And at one point he got him and his group got a decent thing going with a ghost or whatever, supposedly. And then they're oh, and it's guys.
Fair enough. I once watched an entire live stream of a YouTuber called Geordie Wild, where he just tries, because a lot of people claim that if you have ayahuasca, that you you start to see things or something. So he went through the entire process, and then it's nope, this does not work. I did everything right. This does not work, people. It's we appreciate your commitment, but also don't do drugs.
Oh my god, it's been the wrong bloody air, and no wonder it doesn't look right.
Well, the nice thing is having Blender will hopefully make Unreal a little bit easier to handle. Here's my thing, because I mean, I've heard this quite a bit, and I guess we'll find out how true it is. It already kind of looks like it's true based on what I'm immediately seeing, but people are like, Unreal's okay, Blender's okay. Things really start going when you merge the two, so...
And well, I guess the question of how far you want to push this this project can be, you know, how far can you push it without crashing the two things that you're using for it. That's a how far can you push something. You know, how far can you push the incompatibility of two separate applications.
Right. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
I imagine what'll probably happen, and again, I haven't really played with this enough to make this a concrete statement, but I imagine I will probably design stuff through Blender and import it into Unreal and see what that gets me. Unless it's a cutscene, in which case I'll probably do Blender because I'm more comfortable with Blender. But I have heard this has a lot of good like film capability now lately as well, so I don't know. Maybe I'll test it out.
Lately, they've been using it in like, you know, big budget series for years.
Yeah, but it's used in more games than it is for like film and stuff, you know.
I mean, of course, it's a game engine, but like they found uses for it. Like the Mandalorian, for example, that's like the main example people bring up that, you know, Unreal Engine was used for that, or is, I suppose. I think they're still doing Mandalorian stuff, aren't they?
I think so. It kind of
okay.
It got less popular, but yeah, I think so. Mandalorian season 4, I think would be the next one. Actually, you know what? Here, I'll just Mandalorian wiki. That's probably gonna give a more succinct answer.
Yeah, because like very few Star Wars things are shot on any sort of location. They haven't been for like the last 20 years, but
not just Star Wars, but yeah.
Well, it's because we're talking about Mandalorian specifically right now. That's why I'm saying like that in concrete.
Sure.
I mean, sure, you know, like the the Room came out in 2003, and that had, you know, green screened, you know, skylines. If you really want to be.
To be fair, that's not terrible. If
anything, the Wizard of Oz came out in 1939. That had yellow screen tornadoes.
Well, I mean, you know, it does. Hold on. I see something that I have to ban.
That's on Twitch.
Oh.
Do you have mod on Twitch?
Yup.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw what it was. Okay.
Of course, I have mod on
that
Twitch.
was. I was about to say like, oh no, I better start looking at this, but then I realized that's like 100% aimed at me, and the fact that I didn't see it is to my advantage in this case.
Here we are.
Also, yeah, I saw the thing that KW sent of Tree Pop's character, and yes, it is a wide improvement.
There we go.
Send me ?
All right, I'll put it on the screen. I didn't realize anyone else was interested in seeing that, so I'll put the comparisons up.
I had improvement of character design, and that's where you got me.
I mean, sure. I mean, no matter what you think of the improvement, you will think of it as an improvement, put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Baby, pick a character that's on my screen right now. Don't say Pete.
Cool, thanks, BB.
Nepewing.
Yeah, potentially. Okay, so this is the original version. This is what Tree Pop in pirate form looks like. So I presume there's going to
Oh.
be a cover of Cast Out somewhere in the near future.
Oh.
Actually, wait, no, Tree did make a cover of Cast Out a while ago. I just don't think I've watched it all the way through. Anyway, this is the new version.
Oh my god, my eyeballs have been relieved.
Like the fact that like you still like kept a lot of the pink, but it's like it's now slightly darker. It's like off it's like off shaded by the purple, which I guess like also kind of ties the outfit to Trust Pop in a sense, because the two of them are sort of like I've got like a yin and yang thing going on, I think.
I'm back, and yes, I was indeed nephewing. Hi, Ghost Kitty. The reason you hear a child in the background is because there is a child in the background. I have many nephews. My youngest is here. Now, choose a character. I was told not to choose Pete, so I'm gonna say. What's a
BB's nephew. Pick a character.
I can't talk, but here, I'll bring him over and see if he points at the screen.
Yes, I was gonna say, yeah, point at the screen.
Come on, man. Any of these look cool to you?
Let me get the gross one off screen.
Yeah. Here, any of these look good to you? Cool, you're not moving your arms. Awesome. Never mind.
Try to click through them.
The baby's abstained.
No.
I don't know. Darren, I guess.
Okay. Oh, I've got to figure out how to do this because he's meant to be at a table. Sugar.
Well, that's usually my territory. That's usually my
territory.
territory.
Yeah, but I don't want to put his arm in a really stupid position where you can't get the table. Because I wanted him leaning on the table, but I can't have him leaning on the table because I don't know where the table's going to be.
I mean, I can probably work that out, I think.
I need to figure out if I can do that first.
Yeah, the only issue I can see with that is like depending on like his height, if he'd have to like lean significantly further down, if like the table's like on the same floor level. Although I guess I could actually move some of the chairs back and say that they just happen to be sitting further back from the table, and that would actually trick the audience into looking in a different way. So yeah, a lean on the table could actually work. Potentially, like if the table would probably be waist height for him. Potentially, I think.
I need these to be normal. Like, okay, those are more winners. That's okay. I should do it here. My pose system is a mess.
Okay. So here's my first hiccup. I need to figure out how to make a player character. I want to make just a cube and make it move around at the very least. Just start out simple.
This makes sense. BB's going to make Geometry Dash. Okay. Actually, I see, Emily, what you can do is you can go into studio mode, and then you can like compare a sitting down character to Darren, so you can see. Like, height wise, that would give you like a good frame of reference. What's so fun about sitting down character?
I don't think his legs are supposed to move like that, man.
My effing legs, Emily.
That's a cool sitting pose, just not on a normal chair.
I mean, did you not? You have the chair poses, right? You
that's
just
like
just use one of the chair poses and then edit and then change it to a leaning position.
Can he sit on the table?
Darren is sitting on a stool right now. I
mean, technically, he could sit on the table. Actually, I mean, looking at the position of his legs, it looks like he's on a flat surface. So,
need to move his legs down. They're halfway up his bloody. Oh Jesus! Up his bloody knee.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably. I think the lower leg is also like above the pelvis.
Oh yeah, it's also too far. Bloody. Why does he look like that? What the legs doing?
What those legs do.
What I want to do to Darren? That was the wrong thing. Oops.
But this was
got
like
your
this is
leg.
why you look out, it's got legs. Pew, pew, pew. Wasn't this
you
the
know what
reason
I
that
could
you
do?
picked the scene because you wanted because you didn't like Darren, so you're like, ah yes, this is the perfect scene. I won't say what happens in
Yeah,
it,
probably.
but that's yeah.
I might try and make his leg swing during the thing. Why does his leg look like that? For Christ's sake. Like, just like swing off the table. Or off on the chair, I guess. That's gonna cause me a lot of pain now that I think about it. This might be bloody easier to cross his legs over. Joe, he's sitting on a table now. That's what he's having to do.
Okay.
I
hope I remember
need your
this by the
mouse
time
back.
I get to editing the scene.
I'll
You might
send
have
it
to
to you
remind
with
me.
a little thing above it that says he's sat on a table.
Okay.
I have to figure out a
By
way
the
to
way-
make him get down.
Yeah. But by the way, I've been like adjusting the head on all these chair poses, and I've realized this is I've realized as I've done that, like, oh, there's like a little bit of a disparity with where, you know, how high up the Michaela's head is. I happen to be using Michaela to import all the poses. And then I realized I think I've ever had like a character with a canonically long neck before. Maybe Michaela just has a canonically long neck. Oh wait, no, I can't do that because I've already used it in a scene. Never mind. Curse my visual foreshadowing.
Screw your mouth. It's not like that's relevant right now because I'm just gonna sit here and make 7,200 poses because I adjust the time.
Speaking of adjusting, I think now that I'm importing new poses, it seems to have gone back to the old adjustments, like the like the different head size and something have been affected by that. Gonna have to look into. Yep.
I need his.
Yep, that's definitely happened. Is that going to change everything to do with the other poses? Is it still? Oh no, it is. It's still fine. Okay, good. Gacha Life 2 did something right.
Oh, that's cool. Oh man, I'm much like Blender. I'm gonna have like a honeymoon phase. I think I'm realizing because there's a platform section where you can mess with like your gaming platforms. You can like Android, iOS, Linux. There's so much cool stuff here. And then I finally figured out, I think, how to set up actual like player movement and stuff. And there's like first person, third person, top down, handheld AR, virtual reality. It's like, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff just right here.
And that's why they use it so much. Well, partially.
Sure. I mean, of course, not. Here's the thing. I'm going to have to learn coding at some point. I don't think Unreal's going to be able to carry me all the way, but...
I mean, you just download a game engine. You're going to have to...
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far it comes fairly plug and play, I think, but, you know...
I mean, for what you're doing currently, then yes, but
yeah,
in general.
At some point, I'm going to want to make some sort of complex, ambitious BB idea, and then it's like, well, Unreal don't know how to do that, so...
Mm-hmm. Now I'm wondering how many characters. I'm gonna have to check this after I put all the chair poses in. How many of the characters don't have the shrunken heads? Because now that I've just pointed out on this stream that with every new show, I like to vary up the visual style a bit. Better stick by that.
When do you get up?
Actually, Michaela might be like the worst person to adjust these chair poses to. Because she has so many like accessories and like a long dress in the way, and I can't see half of what's going on. That being said, I am on the last one, so it's too late.
Where? I know you get up. Where do you get up? Get up there or there? Proxemics? No proxemics. Yes, proxemics. Never mind. I know the drum word. There's no stage direction for him to stand up, and I'm trying to figure out when he should.
Oh. I can have a look in the script and put something in there if you want.
It just says cut to Darren waiting at a different table. And you said he's sitting up. He's sitting. And it doesn't say if he's sitting or standing, and if he is sitting, whether he gets up or not. Because then she starts doing the thing. She starts having her moment. I don't know whether he should get up. Because it seems fitting that he would get up at the first line. Or it seems fitting he would get up at the second line. That he says during that her little moment. Me trying to ask questions while not spoiling things is.
Yeah, no, we could make it editor choice, but if you want a concrete answer, I'll have a look. As soon as my headings start to load, there we are. Actually, I can just click on your name. Okay. Maybe he gets up like after this direction that I've just highlighted because it's probably fitting that the other character is the first to leave.
Oh, okay. So when he says that, he's like,
yes,
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, when the chat can't see anything. Dan feels like kind of person who would purposely swing his leg out and hit a person or make them trip. Not wrong. Is that too mean to say? No, it isn't. I mean, I did base him off of some of the most toxic people that I knew at the time, so it's kind of makes sense. And weirdly enough, he has some lines in the next episode that kind of sound like Andrew Tate rhetoric, but we wrote the scene long before I knew who Andrew Tate was, so they're not based on him. It just kind of
shame on you! You birthed him into existence.
But I have said it before, but even like people talk about like my oracle powers or something on Gacha Review. People rarely mention because it usually like stuff that like only applies to like people behind the scenes. But the Mutant Girls predicted a lot of things actually. Sometimes it's like actual memes that end up like reenacting a scene from season 2. Other times it's a case of like something that like happens in one of the editor or my personal lives. But yeah, there's almost like a sense of like it's like the Gacha equivalent of The Simpsons in that aspect. But then again, The Simpsons got to that stage because basically everything that they've done, real life has now become a whole Simpsons did it situation. And in the case of the Mutant Girl, because it has been around for so long, it was inevitably going to end up coinciding with a few things.
So
What if
two
Criminal
things.
Minds had the same issue, actually?
It's
Or if it's too illogical to have that happen?
thinking of everything as a real life Simpsons episode. It really, I love. Have you guys seen the? I think I've mentioned this on chat. Have you guys seen the stuffed crust pizza commercials with Trump?
I've heard of them, and I think I saw like one, like a 20-second clip of one once.
Okay,
That's it.
so they are very old at this point. And
They're from the 80s, right?
yeah, the 90s, 80s, somewhere in there. They're not new. The whole bit is that there's this conventionally attractive woman with Donald Trump, and there's also a pizza on the table. And Trump is, of course, talking sexually, and it's meant to be like, oh, he's talking to the woman. But it's vague enough that it could be about just anything. And then at some point, he picks up the pizza and he keeps talking about it. And he makes just these various innuendos. He takes a big bite of the stuffed crust, and it's like I love the idea that a pizza that a pizza restaurant's first decision was, you know what we should do? We should we should try to make our pizza attractive. And it's
mean,
like,
that's actually very commonplace.
okay, not in that kind of way though.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of like alcoholic drinks do that actually.
Mm.
But particularly like the different versions of Estrella, actually they play around with that a lot of times. Actually, you know, someone's like trying to hit on someone in a bar, then they happen to have like all the drinks. Person takes the drink and just leaves. That's all they cared about, or something.
Oh.
There's like one like montage or something that someone has like where you see like they'd be panning over like a woman who ends up being in that bar. They have to make excuses to, like personally pass there. And then one day they're like, oh, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna go in, and then they like walk past the woman and be like, s'il vous plaît, una estrella light, or something like that, you know, that kind of thing. And then so it's like, oh yeah, it was because the beer was in the advert the whole time. So I've seen that kind of thing happen a lot, actually.
Sure. I haven't seen it happen too often, although I noticed your names are notably not like what I would see. So maybe it's a cultural thing.
Oh no, wait, hold on. That's not Estrella. That was Stella Artois. That was the one that I just.
That's still not
mentioned.
something I would have seen in my day-to-day life, you know.
Okay, yeah. Estrella's played around with that recently, or Estrella Galicia particularly, but yeah. This is why I don't. Like, I mean, bear in mind, I am not even like an expert on alcoholic beverages at all anyway, but it just happens to be, you know, I guess those particular brands.
Yeah.
Estrella Galicia used to be like a bit of like a niche thing for us, because obviously we go to Galicia every summer, so it's like, you know, local to them. But now they've started like making like really like international adverts or something. It was like, yes, you know, Estrella Galicia, Spanish, not Span-ish, you know, that kind of thing. They're really they're expanding now.
I see. The reason I bring this up is just because, you know, with him at this point, it honestly looks like he's gonna be president soon, and he's been president in the past, and I thought this in the past too. Where I really like the idea of seeing Donald Trump on TV, and I feel like I have a flashback to seeing that ad.
You know, he had his own TV show, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, I didn't. He was always just the cameo guy, and also stuffed crust pizza guy.
Okay, the thing that he was like most famous for quite some time was like.
I think Jacob crashed. The world may never know what he was most famous for.
Nothing.
Yeah. I would say I've never heard of him having a show. He was in shows, like I know he was in Friends, right? But
was he? Whenever I think of him in things, I just think of Home Alone.
Yeah, he showed up in Friends once.
To be fair, I've never watched Friends.
It's such a good show. Oh my god, it's fantastic. It's very funny.
Why
Oh,
is
okay,
that
there
one
we
above
go.
that one?
Okay, well I can move around, I guess. That's good to know.
I'll stream now.
Yeah, our stream. I was about to. Oh yeah, I was reading some mythology earlier before I joined. That's what Ghost Kitty was freaking out earlier. I apparently some kid was just so bad at driving that he almost sent the entire like Earth and seemingly all of reality back to like chaos after setting it aflame. For context, he was the son of Apollo and some random mortal woman that Apollo chased. Obviously not consensual, but what else do you expect? And they had the kid, and then the story ends with like a flash forward. It seems where the kid is like, "Hey, am I really the son of a god?" And the mom's like, "Yup." And she's like, in fact, his main abode is actually not very far from here, coincidentally enough. You can just walk over there. And so he does. And that's the preface to this next story, which happened, and it was from the kid's perspective. And he's like, "Hey, are you really my dad?" And he's like, "Yes, and I can make any wish you want come true as evidence." And he's like, "Oh, cool, can I ride your chariot?" You know, the chariot that Apollo uses to bring the sun around. And Apollo's like, "That's a really awful idea." And the kid's like, "Pretty please." And he's like, "I kind of already swore, and I can't break a promise, but I'm begging you." And he goes on like 3 paragraphs basically begging, "Hey, can you please make a different wish? This is a really bad idea. This is awful. You will get yourself killed." And the kid's like, "No, I want the chariot." And so Apollo's like, "Okay." And so he gives him like advice on how to drive around. And this is how the kid found out he had a fear of heights. So he's driving around, and he sees the giant scorpion in the sky and all that. And he's quite afraid. And he becomes more anxious and paranoid and fearful, and eventually he lets go of the reins, and like the 6 some horses that were like driving the chariot as well are now off the reins and are freaking out as well. And then eventually the dude crashes and takes out like multiple big cities, setting them to flame, and then Olympus as well. And eventually the entire world is now just engulfed in flame, and Earth herself is like begging, like, "Hey, what did I do wrong?" And if it's like, if this is punishment for my sin, then I mean, think about this, and if not for them, then think about this. And it's like, please, just please, I'm so thirsty, because again, she's burning. And in fact, they even bring a point where all of the water has now dried out, even the water in the underworld. and eventually, Zeus strikes down the kid, and things start healing a little bit. But Apollo's now distraught because his kid's just been killed. Everyone who's alive still on Earth now hates the sun, because now it's warm, and they all have PTSD because of the fire.
What did I come back to? Is this the story of Phaeton?
No, this is in Metamorphosis.
Yes, but it's the story of who?
Oh, sorry. I think so. Yes.
Right, there we go.
Yeah. I only read it today, so it is. I'm amazed no one's brought this up to me. This this became really apocalyptic at just record speed.
Yeah, I was considering putting it in like Mutant Girl, but never came up organically.
Well, then I think it's Roman and not Greek. So
Well, not according to Stephen Fry. I mean, also, I did hear you say the word Zeus in the middle of that sentence, so I think that answers that question for us.
sorry, it didn't say Zeus. I just goes automatically in my head. It's not Zeus. It's Juno. Nope, that's Hera.
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the version I heard with the Stephen Fry one, that one, part of the Greek collection, and was Zeus. So, yeah, I think you're in a safe hands there.
Maybe I'm just in a later version as well. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure the Romans would have had a version.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there was like they had a different story. I forget what it's called, but they had a story that was like the same name as one of the really really early stories that's like now only fragmented, and so it's like, well, this is probably the closest we have to a full collection. Even though of course it's Romanized and all that. But no, so Balo's all sad and stuff, and then of course the mom goes over and is like, "Oh, do you guys know what his grave said? Hold on, his grave is the funniest thing ever to me." Oh,
Sorry, off topic. It is so hot.
I'm surprisingly okay with this temperature.
My window is open. It's like nearly 1. You'd think the cold air would just cool down my room. No. It's hot and I am sweating.
Then stop sweating.
Oh, gee, why didn't you think of that before?
Yeah, how dare you?
Man, I should just stop being hot. Wait.
Tell that to the people who hit on you on Discord.
Which is ironic because they don't know what I look like. It's from my voice. That's the biggest compliment I'll ever receive. People think I'm 1, a grown adult, and 2, that I'm hot because of the way my voice sounds.
I will say, the people thinking that you're hot because of the way that your voice sounds will never not be ego boosting and funny, depending on the situation.
Oh, yeah.
In my case, usually both.
Oh, here it is. Here Phaeton remains lie buried. He who drove his father's cart and fell, although he made a great attempt. Can you imagine setting the entire world inches away from complete destruction? Earth herself said, hey, we're like actually about to go into chaos again. And your grave is just like, he made a good attempt though.
Yeah. A for effort.
A for Ash.
Yeah, the Stephen Fry version actually had a bit where he was actually on the sun shower and he was like bobbing up and down, because it was just so it was so out of control that sometimes he'd be like too close to the Earth's surface, and that's what created the deserts. Sometimes he'd fly me too far away, and that created the poles.
Yeah, so you're supposed to fly in the middle Earth. Is the exact phrasing, because if you can't fly too much to either side on like anywhere around you, and you also don't want to get hit by like the scorpion's claws or anything. So, yeah.
I mean,
Phaeton was doing.
I feel like the scorpions would get charred before that happened, but sure.
I don't know the exact context to it. There's some giant scorpion. I think it is a reference to the stars. But
maybe.
I
that might be the true Roman parts. That might be the real part that they added.
I feel like they probably added in quite a bit more. I don't.
Well,
mean,
probably all the stuff you mentioned, like about the entire world turning to ash. Yeah, that's definitely not in the version that Stephen Fry summarized.
Oh yeah, no, it's super cataclysmic in Metamorphosis.
Hmm.
No, and and also it ends with this horrific moment where Phaeton's mom goes over to the grave and weeps for him. By the way, Apollo himself also hates the sun now. He actually disowns the chariot at the end and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna let literally anybody else take it. And the second they all say no, I'm gonna make Jupiter do it instead."
Yeah, good luck with that one. In
Yeah.
the Stephen Fry version, he does he was already kind of trending up Helios, and it just suddenly like, hey Helios, your job now, and he was like, yeah, all right, bet.
Yeah. No, this was after he lost his son and also almost watched all of reality die and crumble. So he's like, "Well, I hate light now."
Hmm.
But no, so his mom goes to the grave and weeps, and then a bunch of like nymphs or something come over and weep with her. And this is during the period where now the earth is starting to heal, and the nymphs are used, and they become trees and stuff. And it makes a point. They didn't even realize it was happening. They were about to get up or something. You're like, oh no, now I'm part tree. And so then the nymphs, like, mothers came over to save them, and only their lips were left. And so she kept giving them, like, kisses and like, giving and running around, like, please, please don't go away. And she tries saving them by tearing apart the bark, which, again, is what their skin is now. And she wasn't aware of this.
She wasn't aware? Okay.
No. She thought that her kids were simply being trapped inside of the tree, not physically becoming the tree.
Right.
And so blood starts oozing out, and one of them's like, "Please, please, just let me go. Goodbye, farewell, farewell, farewell. God, please." Because she's like, because all is left is like their lips and maybe their arms. It's unclear. So she's just tearing apart their entire body. You're like, God, please, I will just become a tree at this point.
Dead in your butt, Lisa. Yeah.
It's just such a horrific story for what started out with, oh, hey, I'm gonna go meet my real dad.
Hmm. Yeah, that part. Yeah, I don't remember that part in the in the Stephen Fry one. None of the nymph stuff.
No. I also noticed in Metamorphosis, it's you can tell that the very agnostic views have started affecting Roman culture at this point, because the way that Jupiter is kind of referred to seems to be. It seems that the idea, and I think I've heard of this somewhere, but this is where textually it comes in, where because so everyone knows about Christianity and Christians kind of taking over a lot of different places, but Rome figured out, oh hey, a lot of people don't want to get rid of their religion, so we're going to simply merge all of them in as much as we can and say they're all correct. And so I think Jupiter is also meant to be monotheistic god, and so there's hints towards that. So he's just kind of the greatest of all of them and super omnipotent and yada yada. And in a lot of things came from him. But again, they also mentioned chaos in this, so I don't know where chaos resides in this. They kind of skip over her part in the story, but
It seemed to have skipped over Saturn as well of existence rather than like.
yeah, so of course there's Middle Earth, which is a claim frequently used, and now I don't know who got there first, the Norse or the Romans, but it's that's also a thing in Norse myths as well. There's a moment. Oh, another really fun story in Metamorphosis. Earlier on, where Jupiter's down on Earth, I forget why. But he comes down, and some random guy's like doesn't believe that he's a god, and so he's like, oh, okay, then I'm going to do a fair test. I'm just going to try to kill you. And Jupiter's like, okay. And so Jupiter goes to sleep and then gets stabbed in his sleep and, of course, survives because he's Jupiter. And you'd think that's where it ends. And they make a point where it's like, they could have stopped it here, right? This is good evidence. And Jupiter wasn't even mad about it. He let it slide completely. And the guy's like, no, I think I should test again. And so he brings him over to dinner or whatever and leads him into a trap. I forget what. But Jupiter gets like really angry at that point after like the second or third attempt on his life. And so he like throws in like throws in like the lightning bolt, taking out like the entire like house and all that, and also a bunch of false gods. Not false gods. I want to make a point. They don't say false gods. They say lesser gods, which is another interesting pointer to the more agnostic view there, where it's like they aren't wrong. They just aren't as good.
Who these lesser gods are, so we have no frame of reference there.
Yeah, it's just whatever your homely gods are, right? So, I don't know. I do like the idea, because I feel like Greek Zeus probably would have thrown a fit if he got stabbed in his sleep, even with the context. But Jupiter didn't seem to have much issue with it.
Other than seemingly to get very mad at the part where you said he did.
Yeah, after the second or third. The first time was the stabbing in his sleep, which he kind of just walked off because he knew it was just a test. And then the dude just refused to believe it, and he was like, all right, I'm done. Oh, he also turned the guy into a wolf. Lycaon, I believe. I think he's also in the Greek stories.
Yes, he is. Because actually, yeah, what he does in that version actually is that he invites the gods to a feast. And the meal that he serves to them just so happens.
Oh, that's right. It was like one of the Greeks, or in this case Romans, like cattle or something, wasn't it?
It was his son. So yeah, the meal happens to be his son that is cooked up, and fortunately enough, it was only Hephaestus tries like a little bit of like of his shoulder or something. So they actually rebuild the son. They give him like a prosthetic, like metallic arm, whatever, as like a gift from Hephaestus. And then afterwards they curse Lycaon, and that's where the whole like wolf thing comes from, and lycanthropy, yada yada. We get the idea. We all know that part.
The Metamorphosis version does use plural for gods sometimes, but none are ever actually explicitly mentioned except for Jupiter. So I wasn't sure what the intent was when writing this version, but
probably to specify there were more than one. I feel like that would be the reason for anything to be used in plural.
Yeah, but like also then you have like if Jupiter's the only one there that they ever actually mention, really, it's like, well, I will note you mention how they kind of skip over Saturn. They do, but funny enough, in this version they do call him like the son of Saturn. So
all right then.
So they definitely exist, but it seems like they were just kind of swept under the rug.
Yep.
Yeah, a fair experiment will prove the truth if this be God or man, and he prepared to slay me in the night. Weird detail. Me. To end my slumbers in the sleep of death. So made he merry with his impious proof, but not content with this, he cut the throat of a Molossian hostage sent to him, and partly softened his still quivering limbs in boiling water, partly roasted them on fires that burned underneath. And when this flesh was served to me on tables, I destroyed his dwelling and his worthless household gods. With thunderbolts avenging terror struck, he took to flight, and on the silent plains is howling in his vein attempts to speak. He raves and rages, and his greedy jaws, desiring their accustomed slaughter, turn against the sheep, still eager for their blood.
By the way, if you ever decide to take up a job reading to children, they're gonna fall asleep in 5 seconds.
I mean, you know.
It's like, once upon a time, there's a little story, like this, etc. You know, oh, me, that's a very important detail. It says me here, referring to himself. What a shock. And that's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Why is the me interesting to you? Because you said that like it was like a huge thing, was like he refers to himself as himself.
For here.
All right, I've got to the stage finally. This is it. Prepare to witness the taking of the first screenshot of episode 2 of The People Above. Now that I finally have everything prepared.
Yeah, that's right. Because it just kind of went into quotes randomly.
Am I meant to be seeing you taking a screenshot? Because I can see you on an option menu right now.
Yeah, no. Well, I said prepare for that as I came on to make sure that it was okay. So I haven't actually taken the screenshot yet.
I was like, am I meant to be seeing options right now? Quality high, slay.
Well, I mean, that certainly is a good option.
Queen.
All right, there you go. You can see it. Taking the first screenshot. There you go. Wasn't that exciting? Episode 2 is underway. All right. With that, we should probably wrap up the stream now that it's like 1:07. Well, I'm gonna go get some food, not like Kay and Sun, hopefully. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining this and for listening to our stories about this stuff. Just for the record as well, you talk about the strength of the like Eclipse Empire. You're talking about like that name being cringy before. It's probably because like usually you wouldn't associate like the word eclipse with like a place, and it feels like something that someone's like, oh, I really like that word. It feels like it feels like a kid's like, that this word is cool, and therefore I'll make it cool by using it here. Like that's why it feels like that way. Dusk Domain you can sort of kind of get away with, I suppose, because like domain kind of seems like a little bit more vague or something. Like what exactly is it? If it's referring to like I guess an empire in this case, then I probably would. These sounds like some sort of like malignant force that seemed to be like expanding across the world in some way. And they could totally eclipse all light magic. My goodness. Once upon a time there was peace in the realm. Now we're all forced to fight. War shall now descend, a total eclipse of the light. There you go. So yeah, probably. I mean, depends on like what tone you're going for, because honestly, with Pretty Cure Elemental, from what I remember about Pretty Cure, like I've watched one version of it. Like I think it was the first anime I ever saw. Most of the time, they just made a bunch of speeches every single time they tried to like activate like a power up or something. Like there was like a whole thing every episode. Bear in mind, I couldn't like speak. I always couldn't speak a word of Spanish at this point, so I was fully lost. So I was just listening to them going like blah 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 like the whole time. I was like, what do you mean
you weren't just prepared for a Spanish monologue?
I had just moved. Okay.
Learn and learn fast.
I did. Apparently, I did learn fast. I think I've talked about this before, actually. But we went back onto like Madrid Madness, which was like the blog that my parents had while we were in Madrid, just like updating people about what was going on. And there was some like language checks, which were fascinating, saying like how early on they started like doing those and just comparing like everyone's progress. And apparently, I was just steamrolling everyone at one point. Like, I'm gonna see if I can find that.
Jacob's talking to like the locals, and he's like, "Hey, you guys need to learn some Spanish, all right?"
Okay, I wasn't. Well, I was talking to the locals and having conversations with them, and that was what was considered to be impressive at the time. Just need to. Like, I'm pretty sure we recover the domain at some point. The domain maybe. I was sure that it was.
Someone forget to renew their bill for the domain.
I mean, this website, but this has like obviously this hasn't been updated since we moved away from Spain, so like it hasn't been updated in 12 years. So there's a very real possibility of that. But at the same time, I'm fairly certain that there was like a whole thing on the family WhatsApp where it was like, oh yeah, Madrid Madness is this and that now. I was going to show that off at the end, but
no, you got to go pay your bill first.
Oh wow! Apparently, there's a thing on GeorgeRRMartin.com that's called Madrid Madness.
No, I forgot he had a website.
I'm not surprised he has a website. Just never bothered to investigate that before.
Well, man, I can't wait for the books to end on a cliffhanger because he just won't have time for the last one.
Won't have time. What's he up to?
Living life at his very old age.
Fair enough.
I mean,
unless you know how old he is, so
he's quite old. He's in like I don't know his 80s. I would say. Martin age. Oh no, close 75. But he's still because he has to finish off this book, and then he has the one book afterwards, and he insists he's gonna finish both of them. I don't know how he plans to do that, but
finally I got it. I'm on. I'm in. Now I just have to remember which early portion of 2007 or 2008 I'm supposed to look for.
The early portion, I think.
Yeah, why can't I click on anything? Fine, open a new tab. Think it got the best of me? Right. Doesn't say anything about that in 2000. Oh, that was just December. Oh, geez. There's like subheadings.
Does December the 1st? December.
Okay, fine.
2nd.
Here we go. Language progress. Part 1 from the 24th of February 2008. The boys have been at a bilingual Spanish/English school for about 6 weeks, so a quick update on their progress. Carl, that's my brother, has started to use Spanish. It's just started this weekend. It's not as though he translates words or phrases into Spanish, he just breaks into Spanish every now and again. So when we're heading off down the street to the metro, he started shouting, "Mira, mira," to get our attention to watch what he was doing. Then when he wanted to eat, he shouted, "Queso, por favor," which means cheese, please. With Sean, it's a little different. Some of his schoolwork is in Spanish, mathematics and ciencias, sciences. So his books and work is all written in Spanish. He also has separate Spanish lessons to improve his use of the language, so he is learning more in the traditional sense. Even so, it is quite often in the day he now corrects my Spanish, or we ask him the Spanish word for something we see, and he almost is always able to tell us. Es fenomenal. Oh wow, actually, hold on. Hold on. Es fenomenal is actually, it's spelt wrong in here. I didn't review this blog, by the way. I didn't review this blog post because I would have pointed that out.
Well, I guess that's evidence to what they literally just said.
Yeah, like to this day, they'll sometimes like ask me, what the what certain what certain words are. Sometimes I'll do it to them too because I need to like I'm writing a book in Spanish and I and I'm like, okay, I need to like ask one thing here, but more often than not, it's usually them to me. Okay, language progress part 2 from April 2008. The boys have been at a bilingual Spanish language school for 3 months. Here's the latest update on their progress. This week, the boys reached a huge milestone, at least in our view of things. They were busy on the sofa at home playing their favorite game of the moment, Ben 10, using their imaginations and acting out a story of their own, but all in Spanish. There was no need for them to do it in Spanish. They just made that choice themselves. It was a joy to listen to. Outside that, just, outside of the post, because obviously we were at that point we started watching Ben 10 in English like for like a week or so because we like had a flight to our nan's house and then we saw it was like on TV there because we didn't have any like cable TV or anything, or we didn't watch live TV until we actually started moving. So yeah, that was the first exposure to Ben 10, and then afterwards we found it on Spanish TV, and that became like our first intro to watching Spanish cartoons at all. So yeah, that's why it was Ben 10. That's why it was Spanish. Okay, back to the post. We noticed that the other children in Carl's class were taking home a book each day and returning it the following day, but Carl wasn't. When we asked about it, we found out there was a book that children were using to learn to read Spanish. However, Carl's teacher thought that as he couldn't yet speak the language, it probably wasn't appropriate to ask him to learn to read it. We requested that he be taught to read in Spanish, and he's doing great. I love that. It's like, you underestimate my child? Well, we'll show you. His ability to read in the language is supporting his ability to speak in the language and vice versa. Oh, it says vice versa here. That's incorrect Latin right there. Anyway, now rather than complaining at us when we speak in Spanish to him, he mostly understands what we say and he sometimes answers in Spanish or in English. He's making great progress. Sean is doing... Oh, this is going to be fun. My paragraph here. Sean is doing amazingly well. Last week, he wrote a story in Spanish for homework. He did a great job. What did I just say I was doing currently?
What story was this? Is it any of the ones I would know of?
No, it's not. I think what happened was I got to take like the school puppet home for the weekend, and it just so happened that we had like a trip to Segovia, which is like a different city, like some distance away. So I wrote a story based on that in both English and Spanish. I think that was it.
I see. But I was kind of hoping that would loop back to the Dumbo story.
Oh no! Dumbo and the Storm was like years before this. That was.
Emily, do you know what Dumbo and the Storm is?
No.
I mean, you barely do. I just talked about it. Like it was because I watched Dumbo when I was really, really young, like younger than I was in here, younger than April 2008, and I just did not like it. I just did not like the main character. So I made my first ever fan fiction where Dumbo just dies in a storm. Yeah, and I detailed like everything where it was like like Mrs. Jumbo, which is like the name of Dumbo's mom, like canonically apparently, like just finds this out, like all the circus people like were crying about this, and then just like it ends. There's no happy ending. And the best part is like at the time I wasn't like properly writing stuff. I was like dictating stuff. My mum would write them down, and then I would draw the pictures. That was my first foray into writing books.
I've heard that story a good 2 or 3 times now, and it's priceless every time. But But I guess I have to ask.
I went through my emo phase at 5. Okay, I got it out of the way. I got out of the way very early. You know, move on with my life.
I have to ask, what did your mom think about Dumbo in the store? Like, did she have any comments while you were dictating this?
Oh yeah, she was very clearly like not happy with like having like writing it down. Like she was like, "This is really sad." Just like keep going, keep going. Like I just didn't
It
care.
fills
Apparently,
me with joy.
exactly. Could not have put it better myself. Yeah.
Can you please tell me the story of Dumbo's death in the thunder tonight? Make this
just, like,
my bedtime story.
Yeah, just write my own bedtime story. Yeah, and just use this as an instrument of chaos. Good thing that I moved on to quickly predicting the plot of a Pixar movie. Soon after that.
Advancing in only the ways Jacob should.
Yeah, there's an actual video about that, by the way. My first proper prediction, actually, was the ending of Pixar's Cars, which became my favorite movie immediately afterwards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You know, least favorite, most favorite. Do you make a fanfic about was that one about Lightning McQueen becoming the king of the thunder?
No, it was actually like it was like an adaptation of a Berenstain Bears story, but it just because like there was one that was about like the Great Race or something like that. So there's like there was 5 different cars in that version. You know, they were all named like, you know, green, blue, yellow, orange, and Little Red. Little Red was like the main character, driven by Brother Bear, but they never say that properly. And so, you know, it's like a whole underdog story or something. Eventually, like all of the other cars like get distracted or something, and then Little Red comes in. At the start, like I'll be honest, like most of it's mostly straight up plagiarism. But in one of the versions, actually, because I had 2 versions for some reason. In one version, the green
character assassination. These are the extremes.
Yeah, in one version, of the story, the green car makes the blue car topple over, and then Little Red actually comes in and pushes the blue car across the finish line, which, if people remember, spoilers for Cars, I guess, is exactly how the last race in Cars ends. You know, that chick makes the king crash, and because McQueen realizes that's going to be his last race, as wanted to end the same way that Dog did, so he pushes him across the finish line. Same exact idea. But my version was dated 2005, so I know that I did it first. John Lasseter was my only reader at the time.
Did you have a copyright on that? You could sue Pixar.
I did not know what copyright was at the age of 5.
Clearly, 5-year-old
because otherwise I wouldn't have plagiarized Berenstain Bears before that.
I love the idea of you making this and then suing Pixar for copying your story, and then you get sued by the creators of Berenstain Bears.
It'd have been like the most bizarre lawsuit in history.
It's just oh my god, it's the most absurd thing.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, Language Progress Part 3, if you want. I just found that randomly. I think there's a Part 4, but I don't remember where that was, and it's not in 2008. It's like in 2009.
It was the forgotten bad sequel.
Yeah. Okay. So Language Progress Part 3. We've been here in Spain for 6 months now. Time is just flying by. Time for another checkpoint on how we're doing with our language acquisition. And by our, I guess they mean just Carl and me, because they never talk about themselves.
Yeah, that's fairly common.
Yeah, bear in mind, well, I see in a lot of these other articles is mostly stuff that either my mom or my dad have like access. They use like a joint account for this. It's hard to say who posted what actually, but it's usually one of them, and a lot of the time it is stuff that happened to them. But yeah,
Do they not have their own narrative voices?
Not particularly, actually. At least not as far as like blog updates.
Okay.
My dad probably does nowadays because he's been doing a blog every day, every week for the past few years. But that's mostly technology stuff, so you know it's him.
Well, just because most people, whenever they write, generally have like a certain style that they tend to write in naturally.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but yeah, in this case, yeah, I could not say one way or the other. Anyway, so yeah, the boys continue to make great strides with their Spanish. They regularly act out their favorite games, Ben 10 and Code Lyoko in Spanish.
Oh, Code Lyoko reference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Code Lyoko was like right after Ben 10, the time slot. So yeah.
I imagine it would have been mentioned sooner.
Yeah, and right after Code Lyoko actually was the first Pretty Cure, which then got replaced by Melody afterwards. But yeah, that's why Pretty Cure was my first anime. Yeah, Carl switched to English one day, and Sean asked him why he did that. Carl replied that he didn't know all the words he wanted to say about the game in Spanish. Sean told him not to worry, that he would help Carl if there were any words Carl didn't know, so they continued in Spanish. I love how this is news. Yeah. Sean's ability with the language is incredible. Oh, I get the first paragraph this time to myself. That's a change.
Yeah, well, that's because Carl didn't know any Spanish.
He is now reading Junie B. Jones in Spanish and other age-appropriate Spanish books. I do not recall reading a single Junie B. Jones book in Spanish. I know we had the set, but I don't know if I've ever picked them up before. Anyway, he is fearless about striking up conversations in Spanish and has stated that Spanish is his favorite language. The other day, a woman in the supermarket heard Sean talking to me in English, and then he said something in Spanish. She stopped us in our tracks and pulled out her cell phone, then shows her text message she received in English that she didn't understand. She asked Sean to translate it for her. The English was something like, caring is a gift rooted in the heart that cannot be bought. Sean jumped right in and translated it for her. I'll be honest, at 6 months, I did not imagine I would be able to do that, but apparently I did. Carl is getting much more comfortable with the language now. He understands a lot more what is said, but is very reluctant to speak in Spanish. I know only too well how he feels. But that sounds, actually, no, never mind. I was going to say that sounds like a dad line, but then I realized, nope, that sounds like mine as well. Anyway, but his confidence is growing daily. He's always on the lookout for someone to play ball or some type of game with him. So he'll venture into Spanish if there is any chance that might result in him getting a buddy to play with for a while. Carl does a great job reading in Spanish too, and more amazingly, does a great job of understanding what he is reading. I like the idea of like those two things are separate. Like you can read in Spanish and just like say the words and there's not internalize any of it. Anyway, as the availability of Spanish for immigrants classes was somewhat erratic, I've been getting Spanish a couple of times a week at home, and that's been a huge help. Oh, this is my mum writing this because my dad would have been at work at this point. I pretty much understand conversational Spanish now, apart from super fast speakers and folks with strong accents. But I find, like Carl does, the ability to speak in the language is the most difficult challenge. I'm not fearful of opening my mouth and saying something. It's just that words often fail me and I can't find the right verb conjugation or tense on the fly, so I get stuck mid-sentence. I'm doing my best to disprove the adage that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's certainly an uphill struggle, though. So there you go. She gave herself a paragraph for once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, this is the most that I've ever actually heard your parents. Everything I've ever heard about your parents has been from you. This is the only time I've ever heard. This is the closest I've gotten to like hearing a full conversation or voice or something. And I'm realizing very quickly that they just have that they sound like Polyphena from both The Whale Still Letters and House of Leaves. Like
okay.
They sound the exact same.
I have no frame of reference for this, but okay. Oh, I was wrong. It's still 2008. Language Progress Part 4 from September. The end of the quadrilogy. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Here we go. It's time for another language update as we've been in Spain for 8 months now. Needless to say, the boys are making the best progress of us all. We were concerned that their language acquisition might slide or stall over the long summer break from school, but they have both gone from strength to strength. Carl has made incredible progress on all fronts. Most importantly of all, he's starting to speak more fluently in Spanish. Much of this is thanks to Carl and Sean playing games in Spanish together, and Sean encouraging Carl to participate and helping along if he doesn't know the Spanish words. Carl is reading more fluently in Spanish now too, and doesn't have to sound out every word before he reads it. His understanding has greatly improved, so when read a book in Spanish, Carl can usually give you a good English translation of the text. Sean received a huge compliment about his Spanish this summer. Someone said to him in Spanish, "Cuando tú hablas en español, tu acento inglés está muerto," which literally means when you speak in Spanish, your English accent is dead. In other words, you have a perfect Spanish accent. We realized that returning to school, where 50% of their teaching days in Spanish along with the rest of their recess time, etc., will still be a difficult transition for them after a mostly English-speaking summer. However, we hope that the effort they put into improving their Spanish over the summer will pay off and will help to make the transition easier than it might otherwise have been. Due to work and travel, Alan hadn't had a Spanish lesson in months. That's my dad's name, so again, my mum's writing this. He investigated the possibility of taking some Spanish lessons during the time of vacation at the beach. It worked out incredibly well. He took 4 half days of intensive Spanish class at a language school in Colín de la Frontera. I did not know he did this. Since returning from vacation, his Spanish colleagues at work have told him that spoken Spanish is improving. He hopes to have the opportunity to take more Spanish lessons in October. In the meantime, he's taking the opportunity to talk in Spanish at work as much as possible. Oh yeah, not many people know this, but when my dad got transferred to Spain, that's why he moved there in the first place, he had the option to work in like the English part of the building, and he turned it down. He specifically requested to work in the Spanish section, so he'd have to he'd have to learn by either by osmosis or just sink or swim situation. So that was his method, basically, cold turkey.
Man, yeah, at a job facility,
Yeah,
that
we all
could
had
have
our
gone
methods.
horribly wrong.
It could have, but it didn't.
Man, he could have just costed all of that money, but it's like, nope, I'm learning somehow.
Yeah, look, I'm sure that he was doing some work in English or something, just happened to be surrounded by the Spanish people in the building or whatever. Or if there was a real issue, then you would have asked like, okay, I need to go to the English part for a bit. I will say he was asked to give a bunch of talks in Spanish, and one famous thing that happened was that he he was learning some Spanish, of course, from his work friends, obviously, but like most of it was coming directly from us. Now, bear in mind we were 7 and 5 at the time, so at one point he actually described something as something as very cool, but in a way that like a 5 or 7-year-old would say it, and that got a huge laugh from the crowd, and that still haunts him sometimes. Like he came back and told us what happened. We both burst out laughing because we knew exactly what had gone wrong, and like and then explained to him like, oh, okay, that's why that was the problem.
Yeah. I found an incredibly short section just so you can get an example. It is uncanny.
Okay.
My dear sweet child, you are most welcome. Your letter arrived last week, the first ever, and I'm still a fountain. Who would have thought such a young boy would succeed where Ponce de Leon failed? Never could I have imagined how your tender words would repair so much of my failing heart. I have been walking around on clouds, dancing on air, blushing like a schoolgirl in dark green knee socks. Do you really love your mother so much? I shall guard this letter forever and ever. Even if there's never another one, it will always restore me. I will wear it like a heart. It will become my heart. More kisses than you can count, Mummy.
I feel like this is a lot fancier and slightly
disagree.
cornier than what we've got here.
Highly disagree.
I could just send you the link, honestly. There's like one last paragraph. Now I'm realizing that the last paragraph says Moira spoke in Spanish, and that's my mum's name. So did they just like take turns both writing this at the same time? Is that why I can't tell who wrote what because they both wrote at the same time?
They became the same voice.
That makes so much sense, actually. But yeah, Moira spoke in Spanish probably did stall over this summer. Emphasis on probably. That's either my dad being modest for her, or like you're trying to say she's being modest, or that they don't actually know. Anyway, but her understanding of written and spoken Spanish has improved. So her real challenge is to get a much more practice with spoken Spanish. She has just signed up for a next round of Spanish for Immigrants courses at the local education center. This timetable is yet to be published, but we hope the schedule will work out and she'll be able to attend at least 1 or 2 classes each week. And that did happen, by the way. Both of them took like different Spanish exams, and apparently they now actually are qualified to teach English in a foreign country because of that. Not that they would want to do that, but apparently that's a thing that they're allowed to do now. That's all I know. That's yeah, there are some definite gems in here some of the time. Like a lot of them is just a few things like, oh yeah, here's the political situation of such and such, which of course, severely outdated now, obviously.
I deeply want to know your parents' political views about Oh, what was it? This is Spain, right? At this point.
Yes.
Okay. I'm so curious.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's like a bit here that says remove the signs of Franco, actually, which Franco being the Spanish dictator for from the 40s to the 80s, roughly. So yeah, like his reign it still has like a huge impact on particularly the older generation who remember grew up under that and whatever. So I presume there was something to do with that, or just like educate people on what actually happened. So another thing here. Oh, the reality of terrorism in Spain. Yeah, I'm not reading that one. I'll get demonetized.
Oh my god, I'm so curious though.
Look, I will just send you the link to this. Peruse to your liking.
Look, okay, before all I had was your perspective on your parents very briefly, usually in relation to the immediate stream or in relation to your books. And now I get to hear their voice and now I get to know their political opinions. Dude, this is crazy. I love it.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I'll only read one last thing from here today because again, I did say we are going to wrap this up a long time ago.
Sure.
So, but yeah,
we
I
should
just want to,
should have family stories on your channel at some point. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun series.
Yeah, to be honest, like I've been thinking a lot about I could do like gacha story times. Actually, it's something I've considered for honestly years now, and it was actually Shorty that gave me the idea because right before Taming the Bad Boy, that's something that they were doing actually. And I haven't seen that done. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I have seen it done a couple times since, but not many. So something that I've considered actually, of what that. But then again, I thought to myself, like, what kind of stories could I actually tell? Where should I start? And then I've realized, oh, wait a minute, that I have 5 whole years of my life documented for me here. I can just take some of those bits and then add my own context because, of course, it's not rid of my perspective, so it'd be adapted anyway. But yeah, the last thing that I'll read in here is that I think I've mentioned this before, but since we're on the subject of, things being like, self-fulfilling and like, still how I'm clearly still the same person today that I was at the age of 8, seemingly.
Intelligence and all, apparently.
I just stagnated from this point. Wow.
Right, all that happened is one of two things must have happened. One, either because you don't remember, you've made a point here that there are some things that are blank from your memory. So either, you could have gotten dumber over the years, or you literally nothing happened and you just got taller, and that's it.
Yeah, I think to be honest, a lot of people say that they've changed so much of these. I don't feel like I'm a changed person from when I was growing up. I feel like I'm a more refined person. I'm the more refined version of the person that I used to be.
I feel like I am significantly different than how I was whenever I was little.
You are quite literally a different gender, so yes.
Oh well, sure. Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, in my case, it's more like I've just received many upgrades. That's what I am. I'm the equivalent of the Apple or Samsung lineup. Anyway, so this one is just after we went to see a play of A Christmas Carol. I won't read the full article. It's just that
Oh, the mutant girl.
No. Why you say mutant girl?
Oh, because it was because you did the Christmas special, and that was straight up just a musical.
Well, it wasn't a musical. It was both. It was based on "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Actually, that was like the famous poem because there was the same rhyme scheme and meter. That's what that was based on. Christmas Carol, very different. So I'll just read like the last paragraph because again, it's very appropriate for giving people context. So not to do with language progress actually, because the play was in English. But yeah, here we go. So Sean's class had also seen a DVD of the story at school. So Sean was asked to talk to his class about the stage show and compare it with the DVD. Apparently, he gave the class such a great review of the show that now all his classmates want to go and see it. I hope the manager gets seats it run on this run closes this weekend.
How?
Like,
Okay, which version? What DVD? Which version?
I don't know which version of the story it was. It was one that was it was obviously, this is 2008, so it's one that came out probably before that or on the very same year, but most likely sometime earlier. So, that's probably an older version. I know it wasn't the Zemeckis version because that's stop motion. I would have remembered that.
Was
It
it?
was it was live action
it-
for sure.
Was it the Muppets?
It was not the Muppets.
It would have fit the time frame, and it is technically live action.
Yes, that is true, but I also can tell you, I can confirm that now, that it was not the Muppets. I did see that
Okay.
one later, but no, it was not.
Sure.
Because, I mean, the review did not include the note, needs more singing Statler and Waldorf.
Okay. During your review, did you ever critique the I guess, did you ever make any mentions about how accurate either of the versions were? Because that was a thing that I talked about quite a bit whenever we did the Christmas Carol review on the Butter Bunch.
Okay, well, no, I did not, because to everyone's everlasting surprise, 8-year-old me had not read A Christmas Carol, the book.
Okay.
24-year-old me hasn't either, but 8-year-old me had even less of a chance to do that before the time came.
I would suggest
I
you
guess-
read it. It's
imagine-
quite good, but also, given what
Okay,
we know
'cause bear in
about
mind,
8-year-old
imagine-
you
imagine a
before, I would believe
bilingual-
it.
Okay, but also imagine, like, a bilingual school getting assigned A Christmas Carol, the book. We would have got like an abridged version of that, because actually we did have that happen sometimes. Like in English class, we had like abridged versions of classes. And Spanish class too, because that Don Quixote was like a kid's version of that. So it's not like, it wasn't like a Cliff Notes thing. It was, it was still structured like a story, but it's like very simplified versions with
Dude,
illustrations, obviously.
From what I'm hearing from your parents, you were just 8-year-old Jimmy Neutron. Why should I put it past you?
I don't know. There was a learning curve there. I mean,
You were multilingual Jimmy.
yeah. The reason this surprises me so much is because I, in my own head, had like a threshold for when I became good at Spanish. Or I guess it's more of like when I consider myself to be good. It was because for my parents, it was actually after we went on like a first residential trip for 4 days when it was like a 100% Spanish environment at the time. And that would have been like later in the year, so that would have been 2009 by that stage. But yeah, for me, actually, it was just like one day randomly as I like during my the second year when someone like asked me for like a particular word or something, I just said it, and then for some reason it clicked in my head like at that moment, it's like, huh, I'm good at Spanish now. Like beforehand, I was just more because like I know barely anything. It's all it's very hard for me. I'll use it when I need to, or whatever. But yeah, for some reason that was the moment that it clicked for me.
Was
So
that
the
before
fact
or
that
after
all
you
this,
started giving lessons to Carl?
according to this blog post, it was after.
Oh my
Significantly
God.
After.
You're kidding me.
So I just did not realize because I mean I think it's pretty obvious they did not run any of these blog posts by us. So
Sure.
like there was so
But it was
I
your
found a lot of these, like,
perspective, you
way
know?
after.
Like, how did it not occur to you? Like, oh, I'm giving lessons to other people. Maybe I'm decent at this.
Because I think it was more of a case of like, well, I mean, I'm giving lessons to my younger brother who naturally, like, I guess you would think like, okay, he's might be struggling a bit more than I am in this case. So I'll teach what I can that I am because I'm struggling slightly less. I think that must have been it. It was also the case of like, because I've said it before, but it's weird to me sometimes, like even nowadays, watching some of the shows that I grew up watching in Spanish, rewatching those again in other languages. That's very weird for me, Code Lyoko included, actually. So I guess like playing the games, it was a similar thing because Ben 10 was one thing, but Code Lyoko we'd literally only ever seen in Spanish. So it was like, whoa, what is happening right now?
Well, I mean, okay, but what about the time you had to you transliterated someone's like love text? Did that not?
I mean,
Did that not do it?
well, I don't know. That was like literally like a couple of sentences. So I guess I just didn't consider that to be, super impressive. I guess because like again, I was, at school, it seemed to be like the kind of thing that, that was like so at school I'd have to deal with like, run on sentences or something every now and then. It's like, okay, well, I mean, this seems to be normal in this case. I didn't feel like, oh, well, it's I guess to me it was like, oh yeah, it's because it's normal for everyone else who grew up with the language, not for me who didn't. I guess that was the disconnect there.
Sure. I don't know. It's just very strange from an outsider's view, you know?
I mean, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should do some gacha story times about this stuff. Although it's it would be kind of hard to frame the Spanish aspect, but maybe, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might do one about the. I can't do one about the reality of terrorism. No, there's no way. There's one of these just called turron, actually, which is just that's just the name of a food that you get here. Oh, okay. It's just
I love the idea of an
it's just
entire
literally like
blog post about a dish.
It's just literally a paragraph describing what turron is to people who don't know.
That's such a shame. I was hoping for another like 3-paragraph epic about this one dish.
No, sorry about that. No, not a thing.
Can I find that somewhere in this blog in this blog series? Were they ever just really, really into a specific type of food?
I don't think there was a turron part 2 ever. I'd say one thing you can find in here was at some point we decided at some point we actually we expanded our knowledge of like TV, and we actually watched like more shows late into the night and whatever. One of those shows that we became obsessed with was iCarly. So you can imagine, for a show that is based on two people goofing off in front of a camera, you can imagine what we did by this point at the age of 7 and 9 respectively. You can imagine what we actually decided to do and where those videos ended up. So there's a couple of we actually did like plenty of more episodes. We recorded them, and then because we didn't know how to upload stuff ourselves to anywhere, they just didn't exist. There's like they sat on a camera for a long time, and then there was like we said, well, we're going to post these eventually, and then I think we lost the camera or something, so or the SD card like corrupted or whatever it was. I don't know. So yeah, only 2 episodes actually exist of that, but they are on this website.
Sure. So 2 things from Ghost Kitty before we leave. One from Dumbo in the storm. I didn't even notice this. In our current eyes, this wasn't a happy ending. Put to younger Jacob, it was a happy ending.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think I've watched Dumbo since. Maybe I'll like it more now, but I don't know. I don't think
I can ever see Dumbo without thinking about what happens to him afterwards in the storm. Also, you were mentioning we didn't like notice Emily or anything. We did. Emily had to go like we should have, but we got distracted, as you mentioned.
That kind of makes sense. As soon as she stopped talking, I kind of thought like, yeah, she's probably had to like sleep, I imagine. If I turned to chat to you on an editing stream, yeah, because if I was like reading this at the time, I was like, yeah, I couldn't have done that, but oh well, we were stuck with this angry lady. Yeah, the queen is not amused for sure.
Queen does look very judgmental, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Timothy, time for your next upgrade. Oh, me don't want to be 5. You have to, Timmy. No, Timmy. Yeah, this is just how it goes. We my software updates. Like I said, try to be. Well, no, so yeah, I used to mention that before. Okay, well, that was it. I guess maybe someday I'll do a gacha story time about some of this stuff. We'll see. Since the domain seems to have been saved from being scrapped 12 years ago, I guess there's a good chance that we'll get some mileage out of this. You never
Someone
know.
needs to put this on the Wayback Machine just in case it really does go away.
That's a fair point. Oh wow, there's like a thing here of like a stand with like the 3 kings that we have just hanging from our market stand, and we actually bought those, and we still have them. You know, I'm gonna stop looking at this right now. Please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters.
It's a gold
Just
mine,
have
yeah.
not done so already. And on that note, until next time.